There's nothing more disturbing than the sound of an unexpected and unknown siren. What could possibly be impending? A tornado tearing through the town? What are we being warned about? Posted by Epic Memer Boy 0123 to the Chills Narrator subreddit, the uploader writes that he started to hear sirens randomly midday. In the clip, the sirens sound quite high-pitched, almost like a car horn beeping long and restlessly. Several in the comments suggest it's a test siren of some kind, either for tornado warnings or other emergencies. The Redditor clarifies that it lasted for around 10 to 15 minutes. Superman Connor writes, that definitely sounds too long to be a tornado siren then. When the Redditor mentions that a friend said it was an air raid siren, Superman responds those only last about 30 seconds. It seems the Redditor isn't the only one suffering from unknown siren syndrome. The Wastelander 96 writes, something similar happened near here a couple nights ago when the sirens just went off for like 10 to 15 minutes and then just stopped. Perhaps it is an emergency siren that they are testing, but for a different kind of emergency. Wonder what that could be. A return to these haunted, hollowed out buildings leads YouTuber Samal Shadow Hunter to the shadows. Here is one of them. Samal meets with a looming shadow figure on this path, and as he gets closer, it disappears. He continues his search around the compound and encounters another figure.
Oh my god. Kinsa ka? Kinsa ka? Amigo. Ay ka wala amigo.
As he watches the hooded being, it too disappears.
Kaupo lang siya guys, oh. Hindi gumagalaw guys. Wala, grabe naman yan.
What is this figure? It is not actually a shadow, as we may have assumed. It's a being in a robe and a hood, perhaps a demon? I don't know what it is, but to me, it looks like the shadow hunter is becoming the hunted. Number 13.
Leo Mayo, you out here?
Spectators gaze overhead at a bizarre white light piercing the sky. Adults and children alike gather in the street with their cell phones out. None of them can figure out what is going on, much less put the situation into words. The whole ordeal almost looks like a helicopter searchlight, except that it makes no noise and does not move at all. A NASA experiment or even a portal to an alternate dimension are two more possibilities, however unlikely they may be. Whatever this is, it happened somewhere over California in October of 2018 and has never been properly explained. Some people like their onion rings extra crispy, but not when the added crunch is because of this.
And I got some nice roaches in my onion rings here.
They are so small that they kind of almost blend in until you see the tiny shriveled up legs. But I mean, if you were eating this meal straight out of the bag and concentrating on the road, you might not even notice them at all. Again, this is one of those videos that I regret coming across because I realized how easily it could have happened to anyone watching. As awful as it sounds, I doubt this customer was the only person who got served a big batch of fried bugs that day. A YouTuber named Brett Johnson says there is a ghost in the hallway of his house haunting him every night when he returns from work. And what's most bizarre is that the paranormal activity only happens in the hallway. The ghost doesn't seem to care about haunting any other places. It's not a draft either. Even with a big fan blowing the opposite way, a ghost still closes the door. And when he puts his camera down and waits for 2 hours, the door behind the fan mysteriously opens. It's like the ghost is messing with his mind. I would say that this is a fake video except for one thing. When he investigates the rest of his house to show us, nothing is there.
I know the way you're in.
A weird noise happens nearby, like something passes right by him, and it seems to have left through the front door. These two scary videos were both captured in cemeteries, published by Jesus Guadalajardo in June of 2018. A strange figure appears in the top corner of the footage early in the clip.
I've got Easter eggs right there.
The figure seems to fly in and out of view very briefly, after which you can hear what sounds like high-pitched laughter.
Where?
Too creepy for me. In the second video, published by Ghost Adventures of Cornwall in May of 2021, Mark captures a bright greenish-yellow orb floating amongst the tombstones.
Whoa, thank you, spirits, thank you. Thank you for showing yourself. Wow, that's amazing.
Mark is very encouraging of the orb as it appears and then leaves for a moment, only to appear again.
Wow, that's amazing, man. Look at that. He's showing himself. I feel it's a man.
One viewer in the comments says the color yellow is considered positive, so perhaps this is a good spirit. Are these spirits hanging around for their own reasons, or do they reappear to provide the living evidence of the afterlife? This security footage will make you forego your chores. TikToker Little and Large 13 was retrieving her laundry from the line when this happened. Watch the crack in the fence. A skull-white face peers into her backyard. Although that's some creepy CGI in my opinion, it does kind of look like a harmless panda to me. Nevertheless, if I saw this in my backyard, I'd be nothing short of terrified. John of a paranormal channel called Exploration Unknown investigates an abandoned farmhouse late at night. He and two other ghost hunters split up and then reconvened downstairs to discuss what they found, which was little more than some empty rooms and loose steps.
The floors upstairs are pretty spongy. I did it, but I doubt it.
After talking with Tim, John walks through the first floor, and at 11 minutes a shadow figure is caught on tape moving above him.
We've got the K2 meter over here in this window. We're getting things set up. Alright. And then in here, we got Josh on the porch.
It's not Josh because Josh is on the porch outside, and it's not Tim because they just had a conversation about how dangerous the floor was up there. And for some reason the legs remain covered in darkness, even though enough light hits the area to show the banister is brown, so there's a strong chance that this ghost video is real. What lurks in your alley in the middle of the night? This video may surprise you. Published to YouTube by Tasklock in March of 2021, the security footage was recorded on the 30th of December 2020 at around 4 in the morning. An empty road with a few motorcycles and bicycles parked along each side still in the darkness, at least for the moment. Suddenly, someone invisible decides to take this bike out for a spin. The motorcycle abruptly pulls out into the road, turning in place. At one point, it slows in its turning, then jerks forward and continues in its path before falling over on the side in the middle of the road. Could this just be something mechanical malfunctioning in the bike, or did a ghost realize he didn't have enough momentum mid-launch? Paranormal investigators, specialists, and other field researchers have been trying to explain the Hestalian lights in Norway for decades. These mysterious lights have been observed by residents since the early 80s. Though sightings have decreased in recent years, these lights still randomly appear from time to time and have attracted many followers. As you can see here, they look like small balls of light in broad daylight with no discernible source. Scientists think that this could be from sulfuric gas bubbles mixing with humid air, though they have not been able to prove this. Other researchers believe this could be a UFO hotspot or even a portal to another world. While an elderly woman was napping, a spirit decided to disturb her sleep, captured on a home security camera in Singapore. YouTuber Gilbert Chan shares what happens when a ghost wants you to get no rest. Watch the woman's blanket. But that is just the start. After readjusting, the lady goes back to sleep, but not for long. After the air freshener on the table flies across the room before her very eyes, she decides that sleeping isn't on her agenda today. According to the YouTuber, this whole neighborhood is reputed to be cursed, but why bother this poor old woman? My theory is that the spirit doesn't want anyone to get any rest, since he wasn't able to rest in peace. This unsolved CCTV video shows a man struggling to drag something heavy down the steps late at night. As he makes a turn, you can see he's pulling a black bag that's quite large out of view. While this is happening, somebody who is staying late at the office happens to see him, which is how I guess this videotape was reported and later archived for further investigation. Nothing else happens until 42 minutes later when the incident repeats itself. The creepy man drags another mysterious black bag down the steps and out the door. At 10 seconds, you get a better look and it definitely looks like a garbage bag to me. I really hope that this person wasn't dragging two people out, but that's exactly what it looks like happens. Maybe there's a good alternate explanation, but I have no idea why this guest would wait until the middle of the night to remove these objects from his room and never return. The Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, is thought to be very haunted and was the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining. A YouTuber named Ricky Rock requests the most haunted room, 418, and records himself sleeping. Sounds of movement originate from within the room. Then, at around 3 a.m., he claims a spirit entered his body. This is the exact moment it happened. He sits up and stares directly at the camera with a blank expression. I guess he could still be half asleep, but many believe that he is under the control of a spirit, and that's when some presence apparently made him speak in tongues. Watch this part and tell me if it sounds like something paranormal or someone having a bad dream. The comments section of this video seems to be evenly split between fake and real, so let me know what you think based on what I was able to show. YouTuber Memoria Sobrenatural INC believes they were guided to this location by something paranormal, and maybe that's true, but it doesn't seem to want to let him in.
Opa! Cara, que é isso, mano? Cara, que é isso?
At first, it seems like something might just be pushed up against the door blocking it, but then you see movement. Watch the crack in the doorway.
Olha isso, cara. Dá uma olhada.
Whatever's inside doesn't seem human.
Cara, você é louco? Eu juro que eu achei que eu tinha visto o demônio aqui agora, na hora que eu fui abrir a porta. Cara, meu coração foi a mil aqui, ó. Bom, pessoal, eu acho que...
Phew, it's just a bull. Or is it? I think this horned beast is more demon than it appears. If your house was haunted, would you stay, or would you sell it for $100? Abdul Karim published this haunting video, claiming that the house's owner is trying to sell the house for exactly that, but there is yet to be a willing buyer. From the get-go, it's clear something is in the house. As the video begins, a loud bang is heard on the top floor.
Allahu Akbar! Allah, هذا مكان مسلمين.
The man taking the video cries out as he climbs the stairs, walking toward the room from where the sounds are coming. As he does, the shattering of glass is heard downstairs.
ولن يضرني إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لي بسم الله.
It seems there's more than one ghoul haunting the place, or maybe just a very energetic one, moving all the way over the home. He leaves the downstairs ghost to himself for a moment and continues forward, entering the haunted room. After walking in, it appears as though nothing, and no one is there, but the door slams behind him. He rushes over and swings it open, but it slams aggressively closed again. Breathing heavily, he races out of the room. The door slams 3 times, over and over behind him. Finally, it slams closed for good and appears to be shut. The man, getting a second wind of courage, goes and kicks it open. He walks in the room, scanning the premises. Again, there's nothing to be found, but yet another door inside the room begins to slam shut as well. It does so repeatedly. The man walks towards it and around it. Nothing is there. No one is kicking it or causing all of this mayhem. It could only be the paranormal. As he enters another room, leading to a large outdoor balcony, something slams into the hanging overhead light, glass shattering, and the light swings back and forth. The video ends here. After watching it, there's little wonder no one is willing to pay even $100 to purchase this home. Who wants to live with all that racket? I certainly wouldn't. Did this news clip just capture a real-life teleportation in action? Redditor Cat Daddy shared this clip that was captured on the news. Watch the background closely.
Durante el entrenamiento y cuando firman el juramento que ellos están confirmando que no van a ser
Did you see it? The dude just blipped in out of nowhere. It truly looks like a portal just opened in the air and he walked through it. Nothing is altered in the foreground or background to make me suspect that this clip was altered, but there are varied opinions in the comments.
Durante el entrenamiento y cuando firman el juramento que ellos están confirmando que no van a ser
I agree with Joe Films. A morph transition can make it appear as though the speaker hasn't stopped talking, but elements in the background become distorted. In fact, Redditor Julian shares one of those elements. They didn't smooth out the reflections in the glass, seen here. Although I think this mystery has been solved, I kind of wish it hadn't been. A ranch worker experienced paranormal activity for 3 years at her ranch, so she called the YouTube team, Ghost Club Paranormal, in to investigate. They think they found where the spirits are entering.
Is this a portal of some sort, with the 2 mirrors facing each other?
Is this how you come and go?
Then there's a noise in one of the portals.
Oh, I don't get the feeling that they're related either. I thought I just heard something like the closet. I thought I heard the closet. Something in the closet.
Is that you in the closet?
One spirit likes a bit of chewing tobacco.
Is this what you wanted? If you want it, you have to get close to it, okay? Can you grab that? You can... What?
It just lit up.
Shortly after they receive this clear EVP,
And that's who the owner smells, isn't it? She smells you when she's trying to sleep at night. She can smell the cigarette smoke.
it sounds like the disembodied voice says, "Yeah, that's me." Later in the darkness, they all see something at once.
What was that?
I don't know. I saw the same thing you did. I just felt it out of the corner of my eye. I saw something move over there. I felt the same thing you did. I felt something move, or movement going off to the right here.
Could it be the spirit that spoke those words earlier? I think it very well could be, but it seems to me that whoever is haunting this ranch doesn't mean any harm. Paranormal investigator Tim Morozov has experienced his fair share of demon encounters over the years, but this is probably one of the most terrifying. What you're about to see is a demon trying to take Tim's soul. First, the demon shows its disdain for knock-knock jokes. Then it confronts him.
Блин, даже не знаю, сколько времени. Уже рассвело.
It then speaks to him. This demon clearly wants him gone, and Tim finally heeds his warning. I think it's very smart of him to have gotten out when he did, considering this demon's level of aggression. I always find his videos compelling, but this one especially has me on edge. A few days ago, strange sounds started coming from an old shower stall in this house that Alejandro has not used in years. He wasn't sure if it was rats or something, so he went up there with a camera, and this scary sighting is what's been caught on video. "20 seconds after showing us nothing was in the shower, this ghostly figure presses against the glass, flies upwards and disappears. This almost has to be CGI because there are absolutely no editing cuts, and the way they fade away doesn't look like somebody simply stepping away from the glass. He reinvestigates and the shower is just as empty as before. A Russian YouTuber named Fikfoss decides to feed a bear a late-night fish snack through his window. There's only one problem. Supplies are limited, and the bear seems to want to help itself to everything at once. Multiple times it has to be reminded to mind its manners, and at 24 seconds you can see for yourself that I'm not exaggerating when I say its paw is the size of your head, with long black claws the size of your whole finger. Feeding time becomes less fun when you realize the only way to close this window is by reaching out into the darkness past the hungry bear's mouth to grab this latch. They wait until it walks away satisfied before closing the window. Thankfully, it didn't try to get in this time, but bears have a long memory, and surely it will be back when it's hungry. Perhaps next time for them if no fish is available. Multiple cameras capture a UFO hovering over Jerusalem in 2011. The small moving ball of light glides over the building tops for a while, and then does a dazzling aerial maneuver that no human aircraft could ever possibly replicate. I would think this is CGI, but the same event was reportedly witnessed by numerous people who don't know each other. In this second video, you can see the ball of light is over the same domed building as the before, and abruptly flies straight up. I will admit that the UFO in the first video looks a little different than the UFO in the second video, but I think the first video was recorded with a digital camera, and the second was recorded with a cell phone from almost a decade ago, so that would explain the visual discrepancies. This footage comes to us from Holland. A group of friends are exploring a park and decide to visit some watchtowers from World War II. The towers are closed for vandalism and it looks like their trip is over. Little did they know they were about to see something much more interesting than a cluster of abandoned towers could ever be.
Kerel, dat is echt je wilde zwijn hoor.
Kijk dan. What the fuck is dat?
Hey!
Kerel,
Hey!
A large black figure is observing their movements from somewhere in the distance. It looks like it is trying to hide behind a tree, which shows that it has some level of intelligence, but it does a poor job and gets spotted immediately. They began shouting for the humanoid to come out. Suddenly, a series of banging noises fills the forest and sends them running. When one of them enhances the camera footage, this is what they find glaring at them. Then again, I guess it's hard to glare at someone when you have no face. Whatever this humanoid was doing, it looked like it was up to trouble. The group might have been easily attacked if they didn't try to scare it off. Shiloh. Those who walk the hallowed grounds of historical battlefields never leave empty-handed. YouTube team Memphis Seekers Paranormal explores the grounds where the Civil War Battle of Shiloh occurred, and they meet with a soldier. First, they hear something. That was a strange noise, but it may have been an animal. Later, they place the camera on the ground, and it captures some footsteps that they say weren't theirs. The audio also captures the guys' voices as they spot a figure.
Something straight up. Right on the other side of the lake. Just inside the trees.
Was it whatever they saw in the woods?
And there's something in the woods that is making a lot of racket.
Although the guys saw something that we, as viewers, weren't privy to, the noises alone were creepy enough for me to have called off this investigation before it even began. Number 12. There's a face in the wall. Can you see it? The eyes are wide and black, and the face is a little more than a tiny frown. Then, after 1 minute and 5 seconds, I think I see a hand appear. They say it looks like the face of a girl, but the youngest daughter swears up and down that she had nothing to do with it.
She wasn't there last time. She never went. She never went, no.
And when, just for fun, they ask the face on the wall if it is the spirit of someone young or old, they get a weird response.
Put a light if you're a young girl.
So is this really a spirit, or just an imprint left behind of a child who stuck their face against a dirty wall? This recent video of an unidentified flying device was sighted in New Mexico. It looks like a disc-shaped object until one of the lights breaks away. What the? Then they all briefly flicker out before lighting back up in a new formation. Is this some kind of special military flare exercise or what? I think I'm gonna go with what, and by what, I mean extraterrestrial life. Anyone who lives in this house is told by local villagers to leave it. YouTube channel 01 Supernatural Studio writes, it is said that nothing happened to this house itself, but for some reason, after the original owner moved out, he could not rent it, and in the end it was left to be abandoned here. Let's see why. Upon entering, he finds an N95 mask hanging from a hanger.
然后这里竟然还亮着一个 N95 的口罩。
The house is abandoned, but the reason why is not yet clear.
这样子，你们多少都知道，这个屋子某方面听起来就好像有问题，对不对？然后你看，还有这个合适。
In another room, he finds children's bicycles and a grain dryer.
真的，那脚踏车。 哇，干燥机耶！这个是以前晒谷物用的吗？
And in a corner, a rice threshing machine.
啊，对了，那个干燥机应该是谷物用的，这是打稻机吧？好。
He gets an EMF reading on the second floor.
磁场，2楼的磁场比刚刚1楼还要来得乱哈，这也是意料之中的事情。
He asks for the spirits of the place to show some energy, and they respond.
灵体的存在呢，若有的话，请给我一些能量上的反应好吗？有。
This room on the second floor is in complete disarray.
这个地方因为有这个棉被，所以说我不太想踩过去，因为我前一阵子才被跳蚤咬。但桌上还有那种红色的拜神用的蜡烛，然后床。
Suddenly, the light on his camera goes out.
怎么一回事？我的灯怎么突然熄掉了？只有非常红外线热显像，你可以看。 我灯自己突然熄掉了。
He asks a series of questions and receives immediate responses.
刚刚关机了，不好意思。那我再想请教一下，他某方面来讲，是不是被你们牵走了呢？
He seems to have gotten the answers he was looking for. This place does look disturbing to me, but does that mean it's haunted? It seems you have to be there to know for sure. Bike Jin goes exploring haunted places in an undisclosed Arabic-speaking country and comes across a house I think I might have seen before in other videos. A house that should stay hidden but always gets explored. I think a lot of paranormal exploration channels come here because so much scary stuff happens almost every time. Weird things caught on camera like this. He waits until the flames die down and takes a few hesitant steps into the haunted bedroom. I don't understand why he turns his light off during the scariest moment, because that's when you would need your flashlight the most. It doesn't seem like a normal reaction, and the only reason I can think of is to let somebody set a controlled flame as part of a prepared stunt, which means this video, however creepy it may be, also has a strong chance of not being paranormal. I'll keep an eye out for other paranormal videos from this location, and if you know the name and country of this abandoned house, please let me know. Any information would be a great help. This video follows a Filipino ghost hunter who's exploring an abandoned hospital solo. At around 4 minutes in, as he's climbing some stairs, he hears high-pitched shouting. The Redditor who submitted this suggests its scream is that of either a child or a woman. The ghost hunter proceeds to explore the entire floor. All the while, you can hear the screeching in the background. As he nears one end of the floor, traffic is heard roaring out the window. Once silence has fallen again, the screaming can be distantly heard, and then at 7:15 very clearly and nearer. The sound is terrifying, but we never find the source. What do you think it could be? My best guess is something paranormal. It's 3 a.m. and therefore time for two brothers to test their bravery down in the basement, which they are pretty sure is haunted. They spend about a minute down there and start hearing noises from the back of the room. The brothers quickly agree that this noise sounds like a single human footstep in the darkness, and I would have to concur.
Like, yo, do you see that?
Instead of running away, the two brothers decide to directly confront the creature, or spirit, or whatever it is that's down there with them, and the timing of its reply shows that it understands them completely.
If there's anyone here with us, please make a sign. Get out, girl.
The two brothers were hoping to last the night, but they hardly make it down there 5 minutes. Every sound they hear comes closer than the one before, until this final sound comes from directly behind them as they leave.
I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry, but I'm scared. Oh my, okay, alright, bye guys.
You can see the younger brother is right next to him, and he doesn't do anything to cause the sound, so unless there's a third person with them, I think this video is absolutely real. Giant. Did this TikTok user capture a giant in the wild, or is it just forced perspective? Shared by TikToker, this is what happens next. The video's original source is El Demonador de Sumizas. The TikToker spotted this abnormally large figure on a nearby hilltop. According to scale, the figure would have to be about 7 to 9 feet tall. It also appears to be floating at times. The semi-trucks passing by gives us a clearer idea of how giant this distant figure must be. Viewers were initially not totally convinced that this thing was a living being, that is, until the OP posted a second video where you can indeed see it moving.
Gigante ahí arriba. ¿Qué será?
Some in the comments say this could be an optical illusion. Others say that it's either balloons or green screen. Then, of course, there are the people who claim another person who posted video footage about a giant met an unknown fate. So, green screen, balloons, mountain specter, or a real live giant? My vote is giant, but I guess we'll have to see if the OP disappears to finally find out the truth. Hopefully it doesn't come to that to get some answers though. Number 14, monster. Bodies of water are some of the most mysterious places on Earth. That's why they're the setting of many mythical monsters. Facebook page, Chasing Tales Outdoors Bait and Tackle shares this footage of something unknown captured in the port.
Look at that.
It's not clear what port this was captured in, but many in the comments think they know what this is. I don't know if it's either of those things.
Look at that.
The only way to really solve this mystery is by draining the port, and that seems quite excessive. Number 4. A YouTuber named Mark Johnson and his group are conducting a paranormal investigation in the Cave of the Winds, a supposedly haunted underground location in the Colorado wilderness. Apparently whatever is down there with them lacks patience and will not wait until they're finished setting up equipment to begin.
Probably kick on the spirit box here in a minute.
None of them hear the noise until they review the tape, which I find strange because the camera picks it up so well. The sound was either truly paranormal or possibly just their equipment dragging across the ground. A short while later, they catch 2 orbs while walking, followed by this scream. I think this scream was probably a supernatural encounter because it happens in the middle of an otherwise regular conversation. But listen to this part and tell me what you believe. Finally, this bizarre unseen light source magically flickers after Mark Johnson asks for spiritual confirmation.
Is there anybody in this part of the cave here with me?
What's weird is how the shimmering effect goes away when Mark shines his flashlight over the patch of land. There's really no reason for an object to suddenly stop reflecting light like that, especially when it was just reflecting light 2 seconds earlier. In my opinion, the reflection should have grown brighter when put in a direct beam of light, not go away completely, which makes me think all of this is real. If you like to scrounge for snacks at night, this video will have you second guessing that midnight snack. Posted to Reddit by Better Than Better, the home security footage reveals a dark and seemingly empty kitchen at night. Around 30 seconds in, a man trudges in and opens the fridge to get a snack. While the man is standing at the fridge, drinking something, watch the teddy bear on the kitchen table. It starts moving ever so slightly, bobbing up and down, but that's not all. When the man closes the fridge and turns to leave, the baby walker next to the table does this, confused about whether he saw what he thinks he saw. The man doesn't take his eyes off the baby walker as he leaves the room, but he returns a short time later, his wife by his side, presumably to explain what happened. As he's indicating that the baby walker moved of its own accord, the teddy bear falls over, or rather seems to fly backwards, as the wife jumps out of the room and the man approaches the bear. 2 of the chairs tucked under the table spring out simultaneously. If that isn't enough to scare you out of your own home, I don't know what is. I believe dealing with an incident like this is something 99% of people couldn't handle. A YouTuber named David Rebordeo hears noises coming from an attic and decides to go up and investigate for himself. Here you can see they are both far away from the source of the noise, and they're not pretending to hear something. David videos the upstairs for a while and doesn't come across much. He passes the camera and starts to climb down the ladder. All of a sudden, the equipment makes a buzzing sound not found in any other part of the video. That's when the noisemaker reveals itself and nearly makes physical contact. It's hard to say if this was a person or some sort of ghostly ghoul. The buzzing noise makes me think that this was a paranormal disturbance, but I guess this could have been CGI, so let me know what you think it was. You may think you're alone, but are you really? Posted to TikTok by Tayasha, this one is bound to give you the heebie-jeebies. On what looks to be a stormy night, the TikToker is walking around an abandoned building when she spots this in the window. The dark-haired figure appears ghoulish, staring out at the passerby. What do you think this mystery figure wants, and who is it waiting for? This has either gotta be the paranormal or a very elaborate hoax. There's simply no in-between. What do you expect to encounter inside a morgue but the passed away? Published by Kay in September of 2016, this exploration of a haunted abandoned morgue turns cold. Kay and crew arrive at the morgue at night, wandering around it and find a way in. They enter through a piece of metal exterior that has been ripped off. While exploring, they come across the beds where the people are examined.
Oh my god, that's the death beds. Oi mate, that's my fucking death bed.
They also spot a creepy message on the wall that reads, "You're not supposed to be here. We will get you." In another room, dripping in red liquid, is the word beware.
Why does it say beware? What the f*** is this? What?
Beware of what? Let's see. Down a hallway, they find a mattress on the floor. Apparently, someone is calling this mortuary home.
What's train torturists? Is that a microwave here?
They then come across what might be the crematorium, or maybe just where the passed on are kept waiting.
Oh my god, mate, what are these doors? What is kept in there?
At one point, when they've just entered another room, one of the crew turns quickly around and pushes his friends back the other way. That's when they hurry out of the morgue. Kay explains that what he saw in the last room was the shadow of a man on the floor. When he entered, the man got up and glass started cracking. Was it the man whose bed they saw in the hallway? Or was this a ghost that was about to cause true havoc? NASA scientists are in the middle of conducting a 9-hour space experiment when this strangely haunting static fills their ears. NASA experts describe the noise only as complex signals. They think it could be anything from equipment vibrations to gravity waves, but I think it sounds like it could be some radio signal from another galaxy. Many believe that some kind of life form was trying to contact us, and I agree that's a definite possibility, especially considering the sound was only heard for a single minute and never again. Either way, the mysterious sound you've just heard was recorded in 2014 and has been baffling experts ever since. No clear explanation has ever been provided, so I'd like to get yours if possible. When your dog sees something you don't, their harrowing sixth sense can send chills down your spine. That's what happened to TikToker Alpha Ocean 22, who writes, "I live alone and just found out about the previous owner." Alpha Ocean's footage begins abruptly with her dog barking into the darkness.
What? What are you barking at? Oh, God.
The dog is on high alert, his body language that of defense. He's seen growling and springing across the bed. Needless to say, the animal's reaction to whatever lies beyond terrifies its owner to no end. In a follow-up video, Alpha Ocean explains exactly what happened in the initial footage.
From Diesel essentially growling at nothing physical. I'm definitely not in a position to say what it was in the video or what is real and what's not. Personally, I've always been real spiritual, so I know what I felt.
She says she was woken up at 1 in the morning from her dog Diesel, growling at nothing physical. She explains that she's in no position to say exactly what it was that Diesel was growling at, though it was the first time the dog has acted this way. She, however, has always been spiritual and felt something in the home. She claims this wasn't the first time something unusual like this has happened to her. She calls the home her wildlife sanctuary, but says she's had some sense for a while that she's not supposed to be there. She discovered from neighbors that the owner of the home was a very closed-off man who lived alone with his mother who passed away. Alpha Ocean states she'll leave the rest up to the viewer's interpretation. So how do you interpret this? Do dogs have a sixth sense? And if so, did Ocean's pet perceive the presence of the homeowner's dearly departed? Or was this dog sensing something else? I guess we'll never know for sure. Yet another Randonautica exploration turned scary. Posted to TikTok by Autumn Johnson. This two-part series will keep you on your toes. Autumn writes that the app first took them to a dirt road leading deep into the forest. At the destination, they searched around only to find the roof of a house sticking out of the ground. When they looked inside, they discovered it was a Native American spirit house. The Ojibwe housed the graves of those passed away in stone structures. Their houses are built to honor their families and offerings are made there. These traditional spirit houses are, more or less, simply grave sites. Some TikTokers remark that it's important to respect these sacred grounds, and that's for sure. TikToker Jack of All Trades writes, "So long as you didn't touch anything, you should be okay, but if you did, I'm so sorry for you." History comes to life at this old stone church, and so do the spirits. Route X Paranormal Investigation calls this one of the best records of paranormal activity in a century-old stone church in the north-central part of the state of Rio de Janeiro. Soon enough, they come to the old stone church. But before they even arrive at the stone church, they spot something in the darkness. Their cameras don't capture what it is they're seeing. Soon enough, they come to the old stone church. Its creepy facade is enough to send you on your way. Inside, they find overgrowth, vines dangling, some seemingly suspended mid-air. Later, they stand before a small crucifix in a stone room. They speak to the spirits through a spirit box here. One says that she's listening to them and that she is suffering, but the creepiest part is yet to come. As the cameraman stands far off, he captures a shadow figure shifting past the crew in the crucifix room. Is this the spirit they were speaking to? Or do they have multiple entities surrounding them? A large white creature has been constantly creeping around the yard of a YouTuber named Sans for a long time now, and no one knows what it is. The latest sighting happens during broad daylight, and his camera is able to pick up more detail than ever before. You can see here that the creature is not very big, roughly around the same size of a nearby dog, and judging from this dog's behavior, I'd say this is clearly a real creature and not one of his friends wearing a costume. If you need more proof that this isn't a person, watch how it scratches its head with its foot at a weird angle. No human would be able to kick that fast. I would say that this is a rabbit, but I don't really see any ears and the legs look distinctly human when it walks. Tell me what animal you think this is. Until I get a better explanation, I will continue thinking that this is probably a humanoid of some kind. Sometimes paranormal explorations turn up horrific discoveries. YouTuber Mo Sargi uncovered several in this abandoned hospital. While walking through the hospital's hallways, he comes across defunct tech and discarded medical supplies.
The younger people that watch my videos, which is a small percentage, yeah, this is what we would watch and open up applications and stuff. It's pretty cool. Oh, ew, we got blood covered gloves over here. This is disgusting.
This room looks like it's been staged by someone before Mo.
We got blood everywhere. Holy jeez. Okay, this is, I don't want to be in this room. That's gross.
On the wall in red is the word leave. Then in the next room,
is that a body bag? No, that's not a body bag. I thought that was a body bag for a sec. Jesus Christ. No, that's just a mattress. It's so strange though. It's got like these pipes coming down from it.
He breaks out the UV light to check out the fluids on this hospital bed.
As you guys can see, I do have my UV light over here, and this is all blood. Holy shit. This is literally, there's blood everywhere in this room, man. This is unbelievable. I did not expect this. I don't know why there's so much blood here, but look at it. Look at how it illuminates.
While we can't be sure that this is that red liquid of life, this place is by far one of the creepiest abandoned places I've ever seen. A YouTuber named Alone in the Dark takes a 2-hour tour of a haunted hospital that has been out of commission for a long time. He repeatedly hears noises and gets signs that he is not alone, like here for example, when you can see a light appear out of nowhere in response to his voice.
Seems I hear ringing.
At one point on an upper floor, he finds a long streak of dried red liquid running down the wall from a nearby ceiling vent. It almost looks like someone was grabbed from above by something terribly strong and pulled up into the ventilation duct, where they met a horrible fate.
Looks like blood.
Something else strange about this video is how all of the cabinet doors that he passes by seem to be flung open. Cabinets opening by themselves is a classic sign of a haunting, so take that for what you will. When he is finally ready to leave, the paranormal events really pick up in ways you'll never guess.
There's a lot more going on in this thing.
First, he hears an ambulance pull up to the defunct hospital, and then he sees shimmering lights on the ground. It could just be broken glass reflecting into the beam of his flashlight, but then again, it could be a paranormal energy signature. Either way, the timing of the ambulance siren is too much of a coincidence for me to believe this was anything normal. A YouTuber known as Mr. Carter experiences some strange activity in his bedroom, starting with a lamp that crackles with an abundance of electricity in the air, possibly paranormal energy. And this chair moves by itself as a burst of orbs becomes visible. Is something pulling a string under the bed? Probably not. The antenna falls over and a barely visible orb floats over the radio itself. The chair lurches in the other direction, followed by something breathing. It's very faint, so tell me if you want to hear it. I'm going to have to go with a poltergeist on this one, but tell me what you think. A YouTuber named Marissa Rachel makes a ghost video update to show what can go wrong when you take your chances with a Ouija board. She thinks her house has been haunted by a ghost for a while, and she sometimes wakes up with strange marks on her body that she can't explain. First, a ghost in her room spells out the word help.
Is this room haunted? Me neither. I'm not moving it. Well, I'm definitely not moving it. I didn't do that either. Oh my, that's really scary. I want to stop playing.
I can't see a string, and this video is a pretty decent resolution, so one should be visible across the darker parts of the board. That still doesn't rule out a magnet under the table though, so maybe that's how this video is made. I know this plastic pointer doesn't have one, but maybe they've taped one underneath. Otherwise, this scary video must be paranormal. Zaknikoff is exploring the Bower House, an old farmhouse in West Virginia, when he catches something of interest leaning out the window. This gray specter watches over them from afar. If you still don't see it, it's looking to the left, and the lighter colored area at the bottom is its right shoulder. Don't worry, if it's too hard to see, Zake didn't see it at first either. His camera passes right over it and doesn't notice until they were already far away. I think it looks like it could be the reflection of a cloud, but at the same time I do agree it looks like it could be the spirit of a person watching them enter, and if it is, it doesn't seem pleased. Does the spirit of a witch still call this witch's house home? YouTuber Max from Paranormal Point is here to investigate. A Steadicam captures the wardrobe's entire collapse in the next room. It sounds like a dog is hiding somewhere in the room, along with something else. In another room, the candles are lit, and a shadow figure drifts past. After performing a ritual, Max reaps his reward. The witch becomes angrier when he addresses her.
Кто ты? Ты можешь показаться?
A little later, this happens. Yeah, I would leave too. I think the witch is here, and she means business. The team from YouTube channel Paranormal Nightmare TV series encounters demons in this haunted house. As one of the home's residents gives the team a tour, she expresses surprise at the silence, and the spirits respond in kind.
You know it's here, but it's like, it's quiet, because usually you'll hear like a little bit banging or something like that, but there you go.
The team conducts a spirit session in the house and they tell the spirit to leave.
They don't want you here. Say, oh my gosh.
He then hears a noise which is not entirely captured by the audio.
Noise. It sounds like a door or somebody walking on wood, kind of. Yeah, explain it. It's the weirdest sound.
A moment later, the audio does capture this.
Okay. Alright. Yep. I can't do this, please.
Sean leaves the house and it sits empty for 10 minutes. That's when the Steadicam captures this. And this. And also this. What happened there? Was that paranormal activity? I think the spirits in the house are taunting the crew, just as they do the homeowners. But the real question is why? What are they here for? And what will it take for them to leave? We've all done it. Almost choked on something while distracted. But what should you do if you find yourself in this position while you're alone? This CCTV footage shows how a guy almost passed away while prepping a restaurant to open. The guy is doing his rounds, wiping down tables and getting everything in order, when suddenly he slows down, hitting his chest a couple times. It's clear something is going wrong, but he doesn't seem too concerned yet. He attempts to continue with his tasks for a moment, but then realizes this is serious. Walking to the middle of the floor, he bends to touch his knees and appears to be trying to stay calm. As he continues to pound his chest and bend over, trying to eject the piece of gum that's lodged in his throat, he starts to panic. He cannot breathe. He attempts to shout for help, but nothing comes out. While panicking more and more and getting increasingly unsteady from lack of air, he attempts to give himself the Heimlich with his hands. Still nothing. He then positions a chair to give him the Heimlich, bending over it and trying to fall the right way. Having already gone a couple minutes without breathing, he does this a few times. No luck. It's starting to look like a lost cause, but at the last second, the gum ejects from his throat. He is able to stand up again and looks incredibly relieved, as he should. He nearly passed away from a piece of gum. A son who is too young to tell time keeps coming into his parents' room at 3 a.m. to tell them that something is in the room with him. They think it's weird, so they set up cameras all around the house, and sure enough, at 3 a.m. they catch these broad, scary faces that lean in and look directly at the camera. I'm really hoping that this is a mask, but without a closer video, we will never know for sure. TikToker Queen Alex posted this haunting video to the site. The clip shows a phone strapped onto a stand, recording footage of a woman in the distance near a forest. You might have to watch this clip a few times to see it, but if you look at the tree to the right of her, you can see what appears to be a figure move from one side of the tree to the other. What is going on here? Is it a trick of visual trickery, or have we all fallen into some time warp loop? Whatever it is, it's seriously uncanny. I wouldn't go anywhere near that forest. Whimsical YouTuber Erwin Saunders is being stalked through his magical forest by a fangirl named Carol, and together they spot something special. What was that in the cave? They see her again in the light.
So this species, because they're relatively calm. She doesn't seem to mind us being here, so... Oh, she's gone in.
And then again up close.
Can I talk to her or anything? Can I say anything? Can I say anything?
No, just stay still.
I really missed Irwin's captures like this, even though they're kind of creepy, and I think Carol is a great addition to his magical team. YouTuber Kelsey Davies investigates the Mag House, a house haunted by its former residents. As they're entering, a strange sound is heard.
Oh, wow.
So these are the rooms that you got to see originally?
Yeah.
Then Kelsey feels a presence behind her.
Whoa. The floor just shook behind me. That was so weird. Oh, it felt like someone was stepping like on the floor behind me.
Oh my gosh. So
As one of Kelsey's guests shares some info about the home, they hear something.
everything I know about Mary, she was super kind and wonderful. I've actually had descendants of the family with memories of the family still living here up until 1955, where Mary still...
Kelsey speaks to the spirit present, and she answers.
If you can figure that out, if you can make it beep for us, we would absolutely love that and appreciate that. You can use that energy from my light.
In fact, she seems very excited to speak to them.
Are you able to figure out how to use this? I don't know how to explain how to use it. Is there anything you want to say to Jamie or is... Oh. She does. Oh my God.
And things start to get personal.
Are you the man that was in the car with me? Yes. Or my husband or something? Did that say so?
Strings moving and unexplained sounds are heard.
You see the lamp? Is there like air or something moving the strings? See how the strings are like moving? It's like not really focusing on it. Oh.
When they try to contact a spirit in one of the room, they receive a whisper.
If there's anyone here with us, can you make a tap noise or a knock? I know there was a little boy.
Amongst the museum cat's paw prints, they see what looks like a fingerprint as well.
Have you ever seen like fingerprints on here? Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, what are those?
We have a museum cat.
Oh, cute.
Probably a...
What is that?
While discussing the coughing they heard earlier, they hear something in the moment.
I have to check.
I heard like, I almost sounded like a woman like coughing really hard and it sounded painful. Like, like, you know how tuberculosis is like really, really, I don't know. It came from over there.
Their paranormal devices are actively triggered in one of the hallways.
I'll show you how it works. I heard a little boy go like, ooh, he's never seen this. Whoa.
What is that?
Ashley, what does that mean? It doesn't do that.
After moving the devices slightly, they continue to be triggered.
Oh my gosh.
They are so active in here, it's insane.
And once they reach the attic, it sounds like someone is there with them.
Any fingerprints on there? I know, I'm not trying to see. I heard something over there.
While their investigation didn't capture anything definitive, in my opinion, there are enough pieces to puzzle together that this place is haunted. The family never left. Dennis of Dark Ghost Paranormal is at his breaking point in this scary video. Published in March of 2022, Dennis encounters the most terrible demon in this haunted abode. Dennis conducts an EGF session with a horned skull facing a mirror. It tells him, "You let him out." After asking what he should do, the skull requests a ritual. He's told to burn it and take it to the swamp. Otherwise, the demon will follow him. He is also told that the demon is here. Dennis creeps around the house searching. He doesn't need to look far. Dennis is later dragged across the room by his heel. After regaining his feet, he calmly takes in the entire disaster zone. Then an object under a big draping robe moves toward him. Is this the demon? He'd better get to that ritual. I have a feeling there is worse to come. There's a phantom haunting this women's bathroom, and she doesn't like being disturbed. Posted to the r/paranormal encounter subreddit by Kiraxis. This entity was captured in a women's bathroom in Colombia. The footage shows an empty building at night. Something can be heard causing a disturbance in the bathroom.
Estoy nuevamente aquí, en la puerta del baño.
The security guard looks up and down both hallways. He then approaches the bathroom where he finds that the noise is the faucet shutting on and off.
Se prenden las luces. ¿Está jugando con la llave? ¿Ah?
At first, you think that could easily be explained away by some technical malfunction, but then one of the air dryers is triggered too.
Jugando con la llave.
After a moment, a door from one of the bathroom stalls slams shut, and that's the last straw for the security guard.
Necesito otra prueba. Ay, marica.
He flees the scene. Could this be the real-life version of the fictional Moaning Myrtle? Whoever it is, they sure chose a strange place in which to spend eternity. The Mikey Mike channel encounters a bizarre sighting in the clear blue sky that leaves him freaked out. The creepy moments were also caught on dash cam, so we can have a look too.
The word in case you just did, I'll give it to you again right now. It's easy. EASY. Now what you want to do is take that code word easy and text that.
What the hell? Where the f*** that just come from?
A bolt of lightning touches down on a sunny day, no rain, hardly any clouds in the sky, and the few hanging around have not even a touch of gray.
There's no clouds here. Look, no clouds. Like it just came from space.
Mikey can't shake the feeling that he's seen something he was never meant to see. This video got me curious, and I was able to find a second one like it, half as long and twice as weird.
Oh, I hope I got that time. I don't know if I did or not. It's in the corner over here.
At 1 second, a flash of lightning touches down without intersecting with a cloud at all. It seems to just literally come out of the blue. I looked up what this was and came across a term called dry lightning that I have heard before but never really studied in depth. This is a name for what happens when precipitation evaporates really fast. It's technically raining, but we just don't notice because rain doesn't reach the ground, but lightning does. These two videos basically mean you can get struck down by a random bolt at any time, even on a nice day. There really is no safe time to stand under trees or by anything metal when you consider that this is apparently a common phenomenon. You might have almost gotten struck by lightning plenty of times without even noticing it because it's silent and you probably weren't looking up. Freaky, right? Sometimes when you get that feeling that you're being watched, you may discover you are. Posted by Kuno to TikTok, this footage was filmed in Kuno's room, and according to him, no one was home at the time. When creating a video, you're usually pretty oblivious to what's going on around you as you focus in on the task at hand. That's what Kuno appears to be doing as he sings his heart out. But look behind him in the doorway and your heart might skip a beat as you see what appears to be a mysterious figure. The black outline pops up over his shoulder, backlit by some white light, while Kuno remains completely unaware of its presence. The form lingers for a moment before disappearing out of sight once again. It's difficult to discern who or what this figure is, but if you've ever watched a scary movie in your life, you're probably shouting at Kuno to stop singing and turn around. This footage shows that whether or not you think you are home alone, you may be entirely wrong in that assumption. Warning, once you watch this entry, you'll be itching all over. This video was shared on YouTube by Town & Country Pest Solutions Incorporated in January of 2011. It shows a bedbug infestation in Syracuse, New York. The video challenges viewers to watch the entire thing, but honestly it's so disgusting that you can't look away from it. The crew said they didn't even have to inspect for these bedbugs, as it's one of the biggest infestations they've ever seen. They show the bugs on the curtains, on the bedspread, and then the place they love the most, the mattress. Apparently, whoever was residing here never once called to report a bedbug problem. One of the crew says that evidence suggests this infestation has been going on for months. There are tons of stains on the mattress as well, from where the parasites gnawed the residents. They lift the sheet to find bedbugs crawling all over the bottom side. The infestation reaches every corner of the room, including where the ceilings meets the wall. Bedbugs are nestled up in the crevice. They pull a picture frame off the wall to find more bugs crawling on the backside. They appear in singles and in clusters. When they lift the mattress off the bed, you can see bugs scattering all over the bed spring platform. There are so many on the edge of the mattress that the colony has eaten away at the fabric, and apparently they also stink according to the crew. One of them says their dogs are usually trained to smell the bed bugs to search out the infestation, but this one is so bad that even humans can smell it. It's so creepy you can't look away. You can particularly feel them on you now, can't you? I did warn you. This alleged ghost was caught on video rummaging around a property of an arcade in Dallas. The phantom blob glides over the grass and quickly fits through an entranceway. It's pretty convincing to me. Here's a second video of it. This looks like a cheaper camera, but it picks up the same shape. The only possible explanation I have besides the paranormal is maybe an insect is crawling across the lens. Sighting. This extraterrestrial sighting in Las Vegas is shocking the internet. Shared by YouTuber Black Collar Project. The guy in the video says he saw a thin creature standing about 8 to 10 feet tall in his backyard. He called his dad, and this is what they captured on camera.
¡Ay! ¡Permisar! Calmungarela, me canceles var eso. Cáelo, cherro, que chirica. Cáelo, cherro.
Here's a closer look. What is that thing? Some in the comments are believers, while others have their reservations. Script or not, I believe him. You can hear real fear in their voices, and their reaction seems legit. This extraterrestrial is here on a mission, and I hope it's not to destroy us all. Number 1. Things aren't always what they seem. YouTube channel Rootstown Paranormal shares this security footage captured at a gas station in Wadsworth, Ohio. Pay attention to the garbage cans. Every garbage can shifts to the right simultaneously, but how? If you watch closely, I think the video has been sped up toward the end. Keep your eye on the truck bed. The bottom right of the tarp seems to move unnaturally. This suggests to me that a strong wind may have moved all of the trash cans, but not as quickly as the video suggests. What do you think is going on here? Number 8. Australian YouTuber Sam Marsh is exploring far north Queensland when something odd crawls out of the forest to better observe him. Down the dirt road stands a tall creature roughly the same height as Sam. 53 seconds is when you can see a prominent head jutting forth. As the creature inches back into the forest from whence it came, Sam walks to where it was and finds a well-worn path leading deeper into the dark forest. Looking back at him is the carefully concealed figure with a long neck and a white head. At 1 minute and 48 seconds, it turns back to look at him. What is it? A YouTuber named Shondurez decides to go ghost investigating with his friends at their studio office, which is apparently haunted. They meet up at 2 a.m. and are talking about what they should do next, when something in the next room over wrecks their plans.
What actually was that?
Approximately 10 seconds later, this sound fills the building. Listen to it and tell me if you think it's real or edited.
Wait, shh. Legit.
By now, they are pretty much freaking out and ready to take off. But the spirit isn't quite through with them yet. You'll see absolutely nobody was nearby when this happens, which makes me think it could be real. All of the lights shut off before they get a chance to leave. One of them turns the camera light on just in time to see their friend blankly staring at them from the ground. I guess he could just be acting, and one of his friends pulled him by his feet, but that still doesn't explain this actual ghost sighting at the very end.
Scope! Dude. See through to one fall.
I think this could be real because the raw adrenaline sends his friend barreling straight through a door. Creature, have you ever come across something strange on Google Earth? YouTube channel Find Unique World shares this oddity that they stumbled upon under the sea. What is this sea monster? It looks like a big lumpy shark with dull teeth. I don't think anyone can tell us for sure what this is, but I do know one thing. I'm never swimming again. Number 13. Julia Merfeld gets into a stranger's car and they introduce themselves.
So I guess you got a little business to discuss?
She is interviewing a hitman for hire. They discuss payment, a good date and time, and the target, Jacob, her husband. The conversation becomes increasingly creepy as they get into the finer details of the job.
You don't want him to suffer, so I'll make it quick and clean. Perfect. I mean, I can do it any way you want me to, but I just want to know how you want it done.
Really, whatever's easiest. If you can get him outside, that would be great. Because it would be messy in the house.
They later have a second meeting finalizing the plan. After showing the hitman a picture of the target, Julia starts talking about why she is having this done.
As terrible as it sounds, it was easier than divorcing him. You know, I didn't have to worry about the judgment of my family. I didn't have to worry about breaking his heart. Stuff like this. It's like kind of like a clean getaway. I mean, it's going to be...
I'm just going to take him head on there and I'm going to shoot him right in the face. Okay.
Little does Julia know that she is actually talking to an undercover officer, and these two videos contain all the evidence they need to put her away. The judge gave Julia a sentence of between 5 and 20 years. Let me know if you agree with this decision, or if you would have given a harsher sentence. Willard is hiking Horseshoe Falls in Colorado when he decides he wants to try to climb a cliff. The path is steeper than it looks, and soon he has to put more of his weight on the rocks, which look kind of loose to begin with. Rushing waters are below him, and when he admits defeat and tries to climb back down, everything goes wrong. A large rock comes loose and thankfully rolls the opposite way instead of onto his head. He wedges himself between two rocks and says that if he lost his footing, he could have been taken underwater. Meanwhile, his friend looks back with hardly a care. Overall, I'm just glad he didn't break anything, or else it would have been a long and expensive airlift to the nearest hospital. This doll looks innocent enough, but is it? Molly, also known as Aka, is pure evil. Here is proof. The conversation starts out simple.
One of the objects I've put near your vessel. Thank you. Thank you, Molly.
When the paranormal investigator presses further, she receives a confirmation.
Molly, Can you just confirm that this is you? Yeah.
She also reveals her true feelings.
Are you negative and grumpy? No. Are you misunderstood? Thank you.
And then the question we'd really like to know the answer to.
Do you wish to harm anyone in this house? Yes.
But Molly doesn't just want to harm anyone. She's got a specific person in mind.
Do you wish to harm my son, Sam? Yes.
It's probably time to take your son Sam and get out of Dodge. This strange and scary reflection looks like someone is staring straight into the window of a YouTuber named Hatchet TV. It's dark outside and there's absolutely no light. So exactly how this reflection is able to appear in the first place is a mystery. Look up close and you can make out an oversized and misshapen head with a large nose and ghoulish frown.
I see it right there. That's crazy. Turn on the light.
At first I thought this video was obviously fake because he was recording his own reflection, but when Hatchet TV turns on the lights and steps back, the face is still there. I have no other explanation besides the paranormal. When you happen upon a cave carved into a mountainside, you might want to think twice before entering. Published to YouTube by the Highway 9 in September of 2017, this video serves as a warning to never ever go caving alone. The footage takes you through a deep and dark rock-hewn cave. Along the way, bats are seen hanging from the ceiling, and a long black centipede-like insect is climbing the walls. But the creepiest part is yet to come. As the YouTuber rounds a corner, he senses something deeper in the tunnel. He presses on, peering into the darkness, and seems to see a figure beyond. Highway writes, "I'm not sure what I saw, but it scared the wits out of me." Needless to say, he fled the scene as anyone would. YouTuber LeeStat444 writes in the comments, "This is what happens when you enter a cave full of bats, dusts, and insects. You find Batman." Whether this unfortunate explorer found that or something much more nefarious is anybody's guess, but I'm gonna err on the side of the second choice. A YouTuber named Leviathan is on a hiking trip when he hears strange noises in the distance. Just when he seriously suspects that he's not alone in the woods, a series of large footprints confirms his suspicions. He now fears for his safety and has already decided to leave when he hears the same noises again, much closer now than before. The predatory call encourages him to make a quick retreat back to civilization. Leviathan still has no idea what was making this noise or exactly how large it was. This place is super haunted, and YouTube team Paranormal My wants to test its energy. Watch to the right. And if that wasn't enough, the chair on which the doll sits is moving uncannily. It does this again and again. Until it can't take anymore and launches backward. This is some of the craziest, most jarring paranormal activity I've ever seen. The movements of these objects are so rapid fire, they look unreal. While planting trees, a YouTube channel called Homesteading Off the Grid accidentally records the eerie cries of something shrieking deep in the forest. If you know what kind of animal this is, let me know, because many people claim this sounds like some kind of mix between a human and an animal.
Did you sound like it's screaming at me, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They don't hear anything for another 6 minutes and decide to stop recording. If this was a person, it sounds like they were in serious need of help. Nevertheless, that shriek is enough to give anyone chills. Even dogs have the sense to beware of this spirit. Published by Scary Desk in January of 2022, a security camera captured 2 dogs in an alleyway, acting suspicious. The dogs are seen watching something as of yet unseen. They then start to move away down the alley, looking over their shoulders. That's when the camera captures this shadow figure moving down the alley. The figure is distorted at first, but then becomes more human in form as it moves down the pike. Still, the figure is not solid, but a semi-transparent shadow. Some in the comments think the video has been manipulated, while others say they've seen ghosts like this and believe the footage is authentic. Whatever the case, the dogs definitely see the figure, or sense that it's there. What do you think? I think something mysterious is going on here. The adventurer Abdullah Al-Anbar heads to the Devil's House of Evil Horror, an abandoned house somewhere in Saudi Arabia that's haunted by a poltergeist, or also known as a jinn. It doesn't take the explorer very long to discover how the house got its nickname. Whatever is in here is beyond creepy.
Bismillah.
Much to his surprise, every door opens at the same time. It's like he's being invited inside.
Bismillah, Bismillah.
We all saw the door slam by itself, but I bet you didn't see this elusive shadow person crouch out of sight when he first enters at 5 minutes and 10 seconds. His flashlight begins to flicker as paranormal energy gathers all around. He can sense something malevolent is near. The door is slamming repeatedly by itself. No one is hiding on the other side. That's when the jinn tries to keep him here forever.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah. Bismillah. Bismillah. Bismillah. Bismillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. ايش اللي سوى هنا؟ استغفر الله العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله.
Heavy footsteps follow him down the stairs as he bolts from the House of Evil. I'd say the house lived up to its name that night based on his paranormal evidence. Randonautica can sure be random, but then again it's eerily spot on. Published to YouTube in January of 2021, Chelsea Luna writes, "This is my first time trying Randonautica and I was so excited to have my friends Omar from Omar Gosh TV, James from The Fam, and Carlos from Carlos The Fam joining me on this adventure, and just like that the adventure begins. They're driving along when something hits the back of their car."
What was that? What was that? Bro, there's something just hit the back of the car.
It sounds like a rock or a pebble. They stop to see if something is back there, but they come up short. In the distance, something is heard. It sounds like coyotes or something.
Not a coyote?
Oh, stop.
Whatever it is scares the group, and they hurry to get in the car and lock the doors. Later, as they're driving by a bunch of tires, a strange growl is heard.
Lobster.
What is that?
What? No, why? You heard something?
It sounded like a growl.
Yeah, it sounded like a growl.
They continue on. A strange sound effect that the crew missed is heard in the background. It almost sounds like a disembodied voice is screaming, and it says, "You."
Oh, I like that. Bro, you even said at the last look.
At one point, they're taken to the statue of an angel defeating a demon. Carlos says he was thinking about an angel, so this is a bit freaky that the app drew them here. Does this creepy adventure make you want to never use Randonautica again? Because that's definitely the case for me. Erwin Saunders enchants us again with these captures of a folkloric woodland creature. Published in October of 2021, Erwin was searching for another creature when he caught this one unexpectedly near a small waterfall. The creature flits quickly into view, too fast to see clearly.
Oh!
It makes a reappearance again later, but it still moves too fast for the human eye.
He's been very... Yeah.
Some in the comments note that in slow motion, the creature appeared to have a big head and bat-like wings. What is this thing? Is it truly a folkloric woodland creature? Because that appears to be the case. Give your haunted eyes a rub and take another look.
No.
Yeah. I just did some research, and I guess if you're gonna get lost at a dead-end, creepy bridge, at least if there's some cool legend, ghost story behind it, then it's worth checking out, right?
An outdoors YouTube channel called Nomadic Fanatic has been camping for a week when he comes across a spooky location, an old bridge that's haunted. According to legend, a bandit named Stuckley was brought to justice here.
And apparently every once in a while, if you hear a splash in the water, that's Stucky's ghost behind here. There's nothing you can really do about. We're out of here. That's about enough of that.
Nomadic Fanatic is all by himself, holding a GoPro when he hears a splash below, which is a bit too much of a coincidence, so I guess that means the ghost story could be real.
And unfortunately, there is a lot of graffiti left behind here. There's nothing you can really do about.
I mean, Nomadic Fanatic has been alone all week and has tons of video evidence to prove he was by himself when this happened. I don't see how it could be set up, and therefore I think this scary noise could be a paranormal encounter with a ghost EVP caught on camera. Mystery. Here's a true horror story for you. Jane and Bob Durotic lived on a horse ranch called Caspian Stables. Bob Durotic turned up lifeless one day, and Jane was the prime suspect. But to this day, the mystery of who ended Bob's life remains unsolved. YouTube team Mackie and Amanda head to Caspian Stables to try and get to the bottom of this dark case. Their investigation is chill-inducing straight away.
You can literally hear people out camera driving right now.
Really?
You can hear
Like they're talking to horses, basically?
Somebody's riding. Down like a tree.
And to put us all more on edge, they hear a scream.
What the was that? That was a scream.
Using some dowsing rods, they get some answers.
That was the fastest one yet. Straighten them back out and we'll ask the next question.
Can you straighten them?
But this doesn't seem enough to confirm any theories. As they get ready to leave the creepy horse ranch, they give the spirit one last opening.
This is your last chance to talk to us right here.
What did it say?
Can you say that again? Is there anything else you want to say?
She's evil.
That's what it sounds like.
She's evil. Who's evil? I think we can guess. but I don't want to point fingers based on paranormal data. Number 9. This clip shows a normal psychedelic filter, the electric color surrounding the girl in frame. She then turns her camera to span the room. The filter follows for a moment before becoming absent from the shot as the room is empty. Or is it? The person detecting filter appears to detect someone in the chair sitting opposite. No one is there, and yet the silhouette of a human form starts to appear in the shot in shocking black and white. It seems to be seated in the chair. The girl turns the filter back to her face, and the shocking figure follows, blending into the psychedelic filter colors around her again. Redditor Hydra Wrench 97 is both tentative in jumping to the paranormal and rightly creeped out. She writes, "Usually these Snapchat filter ghost clips are glitching and basically the camera falling for pareidolia, but this one is weird. Might just be the spookiest glitch ever, but it is very weird and would scare me if that was my living room. Maybe it sees something we don't." If mysterious creatures with tails make you nervous, then strap in for this video posted to Reddit by Scentless Grape. The video shows horsehair worms leaving their host. Horsehair worms are parasites that usually range from 2 to 3.9 inches long and are often found in bodies of water and other damp areas. Only the larvae are parasitic on beetles, cockroaches, and other insects. In this case, what appears to be a praying mantis. Watching something that is 100% real and insanely disturbing is enough to make anyone nervous. Can you handle this horror you can't ever unsee? Nah. Neither can I. Leaked video comes from the Kaluzhsky airport in Russia. One of the planes loses all stability and wobbles unsteadily, trying its best to navigate a safe path through heavy air currents. The pilot continues to wrestle with the controls, which are becoming more unstable by the minute, and I think I see a small fire under the wheel. If he misses the runway here, there's no circling around for a second chance. The wings dip unevenly as the plane disappears behind the tree line. No one can see what is happening and they listen for the worst. A short while later, the plane miraculously emerges from behind the trees and touches down. The passengers get to live another day. A YouTuber named Yara records herself singing in her room when a visitor approaches, or maybe it's just the sound of her tablet getting put down.
You wanna say?
She looks down the hallway.
You wanna say?
It looks like a lock gets popped, but no doors open. There are no footsteps, no one says hello, and then... Yara claims she saw a demon, but that's a lot for me to believe without the physical proof. I will say that those two noises were awfully odd, and it didn't sound like anyone else was with her before they occurred. A YouTuber named DK goes ghost hunting at 3 a.m. using a mirror in his home that's apparently haunted. He sets up a camera and waits until 3 a.m. Sure enough, the video glitches out and shows what appears to be someone's hand. Also, look in the mirror itself and you'll see a face looking to the left with its eyes closed. Let me know if you see it, and if so, what you make of this haunted mirror. Someone's always gotta ruin the party. Posted to TikTok by Suntuk Ajasi. This group took a bunch of photos at a waterfall in Indonesia. Well, one pic turned out much creepier than the rest. As the group poses before this beautiful falls, a black-robed figure is spotted, lurking in the background. You cannot see its face, but it seems to be watching them. What is this figure doing? And did it lose their life in these falls? I guess we're left with more questions than answers for this one. This leaked video supposedly captures a secret anti-gravity experiment conducted by the government in broad daylight. A military helicopter rises in the air without moving its blades, all while making a magnetic humming sound the entire time. Listen to how bizarre distorted droning becomes more distant as the helicopter somehow flies away. There definitely seems to be something aboard causing that sound, perhaps an experimental anti-gravitational device. I don't know about you, but that definitely does not look or sound like a normal helicopter to me. I have heard that helicopters can sometimes look like this depending on the camera that's recording it, but if someone could provide me with a more concrete explanation, I would really appreciate it. Until then, I have to wonder if this really was a government anti-gravity experiment taken within plain sight of the public. A dad and a daughter are all smiles as they board an elevator. The ride is smooth and they look at themselves in the mirror for about 30 seconds, completely unaware of how unsafe they actually are. Minutes later, the empty elevator is ripping past floors with enough speed to shake the entire carriage. The door is slightly open and nothing is working properly as the lift slams into the roof hard enough to dislodge panels and light fixtures. Thankfully, no passengers were on board, but had the two from earlier still been inside, it would have been a daddy-daughter demise for certain. I can only wonder how many times something like this has almost happened to you or me without realizing. An Urbex YouTuber called RNK All Day is exploring a creepy building that used to be a funeral home before it was abandoned. The funeral home is not haunted per se, at least not from what I can tell, but what they find is every bit as scary as any ghost video you'll ever watch. You see, a long time ago, this North Carolina establishment was shut down because of improper business operations. People were not notified about their loved ones in a timely fashion, and the remains were often not stored properly at all. As RNK All Day explores the abandoned building, he finds evidence of their misdeeds laying out in the open. Sitting in a battered cupboard box on an old altar is a discarded plastic bag full of what appears to be ashes. There's no way to tell if these are the ashes of someone until you look at the box. That definitely says cremation services. If this is what we think it is, which I think it almost definitely is, then they should be properly placed in an urn, not out in the open like this. And if there are more items like this lying around, then maybe this building is haunted after all. Muna Bruzan bought this strange and creepy doll at an antique sale after she felt its eyes watching her. Now the doll apparently continues to do so as their connection grows stronger over time. Here you can see her pick up the doll to admire her. When the doll apparently comes to life, you can hear Muna cry out in surprise as the doll turns towards her and flutters its eyes. I have no idea how this could have happened, since both of her hands are nowhere near the doll's head when it turns to face her. When she puts the doll back down, it seems to understand that she is done playing and thoughtfully turns its gaze outside the window. Captured. Upon entering a haunted place, oftentimes you know you're not welcome. That's what happened to the YouTube team, Dref David TV, when they entered this haunt.
Hello?
Something is thrown down the stairs at the team. You can tell it didn't fall, it was thrown. Although we can't see what threw this object, I'd take this as a sign that this spirit is a Grinch. A man steps out of his sandals before going into the house for a bit. Well gone. To his amazement, his shoes are caught on a home security camera moving on their own. The movements are subtle at first, but soon it becomes clear that his footwear is going for a walk by itself. I thought maybe he was using a string under the front door, but it can't be that explanation because the sandals actually move away from the door. I think this video might be edited because there's always a loading icon. Shortly before the sandals move, maybe they are secretly pausing the video to move the objects themselves and then recording again. I honestly don't know enough about this particular security camera to know for sure, so if you have this model, then let me know if my instincts are correct. It's past midnight at a police station in Pahang, Malaysia. A quiet crew plays chess to help pass the time, completely unaware of something that stays 2 moves ahead. The faint outline of a figure leaves them fearfully singing for protection and clambering over each other to stay far away. A different police video taken 10 years later shows more scary things that are just beyond creepy. In the darkness looms a mysterious figure, not wearing a reflective vest like everyone else, that also does not reveal any detail whatsoever, even when directly under the high-powered beam of a police flashlight. Not to mention those crying noises coming from the woods. It could be speakers, but I really doubt the police would be wasting time faking paranormal videos, so either this is a joke being played on them, or else these scary ghost videos are actually real. I want to get the opinions of people from Malaysia, where this video was made, to help me decide if these creepy videos are real, or part of a viral trend, or what. Either way, you know the paranormal activity is bad, when even the police are too afraid to do something about it. Not that there's much they can do. According to YouTuber 01 Supernatural Studio, a gambler lived in this place. He lost all the land in a bet and then chose to take his own life. Let's see if his presence remains. The ghost hunter quickly gets a reading.
黄色，不稳定。黄色，我跳到红色。好 ，OK， 那这个地方怎么废弃的？我现在就来告诉大家。
Inside his meter spikes.
来镜子前面测测看磁场吧。镜子这边红的耶。而且某方面来讲，这样的镜子会不会形成一个通道？
The spike occurs right next to a mirror. Could this be a portal into another world? As he continues to search, he hears a voice.
客家八音哎。小孩子的声音。
Here it is again with the infrared on. He asks the spirit to touch a paranormal device.
请教一下，就是那他的父母亲的灵体还在这个地方吗？如果还在的话，摸一下好吗？谢谢。
It seems to me that the spirit is here, but what the spirit's intentions are remains a mystery. A YouTuber named The Maniac sets out with his cousin to explore the back roads of Maine. Within 5 minutes, a vehicle pulls up, and somebody gets out while pointing at the ground. He doesn't identify himself, and he certainly isn't a police officer, so I think the maniac was in the right to try and get away. I will admit that they were going pretty fast earlier, so maybe that's why this person was so upset. Anyway, approximately 2 minutes later, they see him again, but he is already turning with a car behind him and unable to swing back around. This time, the maniac speeds by him for a final look, and sure enough, the man is wearing the same gray shirt and watch as before. The maniac speeds off again before the man has a chance to get out of his car and try and make another attempt to stop him. A weird security video from southeastern Nigeria has been freaking people out since October of 2019. Animals seem to disappear in this haunted alleyway, and then it happens to someone who they've long suspected of being a witch. I think these security guards were bored and playing a joke. Notice how the yellow playback bar suddenly skips ahead whenever something disappears. It's pretty obvious that some editing has occurred, so my final analysis is no, this video is not real. What do you think though? Perks is exploring an old, overgrown estate that's rumored to have a long history full of bad events and cursed memories. The manor itself seems to be in early stages of decay, and judging by these mattresses in the living room, looks to have been taken over by strangers. The house is definitely creepy, but nothing really feels out of place until Perks heads down into the basement. He can't quite explain how he knows it, but he can sense an evil presence down here, something that has not been disturbed in a long time. That's when he finds it lying in the corner of an especially unwelcoming part of the basement. If an expert could please verify, we could solve a potentially horrifying scene. This house is supposedly haunted, and the family room reportedly has the most activity out of anywhere. As you can see in this close-up shot, there is nothing out of the ordinary about this mirror at all. But once the paranormal investigation is underway, a woman's colorless face appears in the upper left quadrant. She is staring directly at the camera with two black holes for eyes. Her thin lips and nose clearly visible. As far as I can see, there is nothing in the room that could cast such a strangely vivid reflection. B band. People online are wondering if this is a rock band full of zombies. Shared by YouTube channel EXTV, this video is currently trending in the Brazilian YouTube community. Watch her come to life. The act continues for several minutes. She grows more enraged by the music, but then seems to get rather into it. If you're worried about your brains being eaten, never fear. The Walking Dead is not among us, at least not in this case. I tracked down the original source to the Instagram account of horror artist Corey Deanne Cowley. Well, I guess this mystery is solved. That won't help with my nightmares. Although this is a stage performance, I think most of us will admit that real zombies wouldn't be a welcome addition to a heavy metal concert, no matter how emo we are. Number 3. If a tree falls on you in the forest and no one is around to hear you scream, do you make a sound? Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by Essex Haunted, the Redditor explains that in Puckley, Kent, UK, there is a forest known as Daring Woods, otherwise known as the Screaming Woods. Legend has it, those who have passed there haunt the place with their screams. Although Essex posted only a personal pic, he linked to a video of said forest, which was published to YouTube in September of 2016 by LC Play Z. In the distance, you can really hear horrifying screaming from the depths of the forest.
Oh my days. Should we scream back at her?
The man in the video asks if they should scream back, and maybe that's just what this is. Live people having screaming matches back and forth at each other from opposite sides of the woods. Or maybe, like the Redditor suggests, there's another natural explanation. Responding to whether it could be some species of wild cat, Essex writes, more likely to do with the ways the trees are very closely grown and the wind, although in a later comment he adds, I've spent 3 nights there. In the last 2 months filming, some of the noises are just, well, hard to explain. According to Essex Ghost Hunters, the village of Puckley nearby is also one of the UK's most haunted ghost towns. So nature or ghosts, Do you have a better explanation for this screaming? It's every urban explorer's worst nightmare. YouTuber Exploring with Danny apparently uncovered 4 bodies while exploring this abandoned place. His dog came across them first.
Diesel! Diesel, what are you doing, boy?
After entering, Danny realizes he's happened upon a grim scene.
Oh my. Hello?
I want to think it's fake, but Danny's reaction seems all too real.
Diesel, come on, Diesel, come on, we need to the police, Diesel.
The Crazy Red Show uploaded an odd sky sighting over the Hawaiian island of Maui that I think needs more coverage and further analysis.
I'm filming that, bruh. I'm telling you, bruh, they're right there. Holy
Lights in the sky have assembled into a strange formation that does not get closer or farther away, simply hovers without a sound. Looking back, the Crazy Red Show says he still has no idea what these lights were, describing the unexplained event as a surreal moment that, if he had to guess, might be a triangulating satellite system being launched. I admit I don't have much of an idea of what a satellite system looks like, but I would assume getting launched involves movement of some kind. Like I said, these unexplained lights in the sky seem stationary and make for a strange sighting caught on tape indeed. Tell me if you think this is something made by us, because a lot of people think this could be video evidence of visitors from someplace far beyond our world. I personally think it could be flares from a government drill, but it's too hard to say. This YouTube channel is dedicated to finding a local legend known only as the Clover Forest creature. 2 friends are investigating an area of the woods where the last sighting was reported when they detect what appears to be a pair of eyes staring at them from across a creek.
Oh, whoa, get down. Oh my god, that's it. I think so.
At first I thought this could just be one of their friends wearing a mask with glowing red eyes, but watch this next part and tell me what you think. The eyes briefly go away and then reappear, which makes me think that this creature is blinking.
No, keep your light on it, keep your light on it.
Soon the Clover Forest creature walks away and is not seen again. It's too bad that they didn't have a high beam flashlight to shine across the creek and solve the mystery once and for all. Still, tell me whether you think this video is scripted or real based on the 11 seconds of video I was able to show. Cookstown is considered one of the scariest and most haunted places in Ontario, and weird things like this creepy unexplained photograph is one of the many reasons why. On July 30th, 2015, a paranormal investigator took a picture of a store named The Workshop that I think needs a closer look. Take a look at this photo and tell me if you see anything weird. If not, things are about to get creepy for you. Here's a close-up of the same picture to help you see it better. A giant frowning face takes up the top right window of the building. Tell me if you think this is paranormal or a coincidence. It would have been interesting to return the next day and see if the face was still there, but considering this happened years ago, I guess we will never get that opportunity. I reached out to this channel for more info, and they now think it was shadows cast from a warped wooden frame. I'll take their word for it, but I'm not sure how warped wood would cause this extra eerie face to appear. I guess sometimes the explanation to an unsolved thing can be quite bizarre. Do You Want to Play? Published by King Crimson in January of 2013. This is just one of many experiences of paranormal activity in this house. The YouTuber says that he left his camera in the kitchen to try and capture more of the activity going on in his home, and this is what it caught. The footage shows a child playing with alphabet refrigerator magnets that are randomly arranged on the fridge. As the child moves them around, suddenly the grouped magnets scatter, some of them appearing to fall right off the fridge. The child doesn't know what happened. He runs into the next room, presumably presumably to get an adult. The YouTuber writes, "I don't know what to believe anymore. This is really starting to freak me out. The only way this would be freakier is if the magnet spelt out 666. Home alone at night? This creeper might just be peering in the window at you." Originally posted to YouTube by group member Ariane Childress of VBEINC's channel. This image is sure to haunt you. A woman in her home films her dark window pane as it looks like a man is staring at her. Although the features are vague, the image reflected definitely looks like a face. The woman takes a few pics as well. The lurker disappears for a moment when her camera moves, but then he's back again leering. Reddit is mixed about this image, with some saying it's seriously creepy and others theorizing it can easily be explained. Redditor Crystal Siren wonders how the woman remains so calm, writing, "If I saw that, I'd have to close the curtains immediately and been unable to sleep for days." However, New Vin suggests it's pareidolia. Pareidolia is when someone incorrectly sees objects they recognize in random shapes or patterns. For instance, seeing a face in the clouds. As many note, this looks like it's probably a reflection, being that whenever she moves, the face gets distorted or disappears. Whether it's pareidolia, a reflection, or something more nefarious, we'll never know. Real life lurker or not, you can't really blame this woman for looking over her shoulder. It's midnight when this ladder starts walking by itself in an apartment building garage. It looks like it has to be the work of a ghost, but it's actually on a very gradual ramp moving down. This middle section of the ladder, called a spreader, looks like it's too worn out to lock in place anymore, and so the ladder almost tips over and then catches itself, taking another step forward in the process. But still, somebody has to bump the ladder first to get it moving. So if this just spontaneously happened out of nowhere, then that's a cause for concern. A YouTuber named Ziggy09 wasn't sure if the spirit world was real or not until he got a visit from one of them. So I bet you were focused on the figure outside the window that you didn't notice this curtain moving by itself while the opposite one stays as still as can be. Something must already be in the home. Ziggy turns on the lights to reveal an all-white figure wave its hand, the curtain closest to it fluttering all the while, followed by a weird humming noise. Ziggy claims to have seen nothing in the window at this time, but his eerie suspicions of being watched at night were confirmed upon reviewing this video. To further add to the mystery, his last update was over 7 years ago, so either he forgot about this channel, or whatever's in this video grew much bolder. A home security camera caught this scary sight in Corvina. Posted by Ruby Gonzalez in December of 2018, Ruby writes, "Two individuals tried to enter a home. One knocked on the door and called out the resident's first name several times. The family was home at the time. You can see one of the men approach with his hood up and a kerchief covering his mouth, wearing a backpack. He knocks on the door, waiting with his head down, likely aware of where the security camera is located. A second dude also approaches, dressed in the same fashion. He's carrying a crowbar. They knock a second and third time, alerting a small dog inside. When a car passes, they both turn to look down the street and ensure there are no witnesses. He knocks several more times, saying, 'Come on, bro,' but the second dude eventually taps him on the arm, indicating it's time to give up and leave, which thankfully they do. Whatever they came for, they left empty-handed." This CCTV footage comes from the London Dungeon, a famous tourist attraction in England that's rumored to be haunted. An employee is tending to their duties in the laundry room all alone. When they go to open the door to the washing machine, a hand reaches out and makes a grab at them. Weirder still is how the camera switches to static merely moments before this happens. Since technological malfunctions can often indicate the presence of the paranormal, and also given the location, I think this strange video could definitely be real, and if so, it's something that this employee will never be able to unsee. Is this the floating soul of a departed one? Published by Frankly2112 in October of 2008, a ghost hunting crew encountered a strange floating orb while wandering through a cemetery at night. The light glows brightly at the center of what appears to be a semi-transparent figure. Then again, the apparent figure could just be the extension of the light's rays. As the cameraman pans away and back again, the beam moves quickly out of frame and out of sight. YouTuber Price Paranormal writes, "It almost seems elemental or interdimensional." Others note that the light seems to materialize there, and that it appears like someone holding fire in their hand. What do you think this is? Are the spirits alive in this graveyard? I'd be staying far away from this place. This video, captured in Israel, has me wondering if there's a whole other world under the sea. YouTuber T-Posa1996 shares this footage of what they believe is a mermaid. Watch and judge for yourself.
Yeah, man, this is cool. Got a seal on the rock down there? That thing? Yeah. That's a weird looking seal, man. Are you filming this?
Was that a seal or a mermaid? Take a closer look.
What is that? Oh my! What is that?
While many in the comments think it's a real mermaid, I don't think the footage is clear enough to tell what exactly it is.
What is that?
But its movements don't scream seal to me either, and the way it turns around to look at them is super creepy. If it's not a mermaid, I think it could very well be some other underwater mythical creature. When requesting that a spirit manifest itself, you'd better be ready. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by On Behalf of the Gesture. This is what happens when you provoke a ghost. After inviting a ghost in a giant empty warehouse to manifest itself, the Redditor asks the spirit not to scare him too badly. The ghost only heard the first half, appearing in the form of smoke or dust or vapor of some kind. It shocks the Redditor so much that he quickly backs up and turns to leave. He's lucky he did. Who knows what was waiting for him in the darkness? I have really no explanation for this one other than the paranormal, so that's what I'm going with. A lot of people meditate to relax, but using breathing techniques to master the elements of nature is where the topic takes a strange and mysterious twist, bordering on the supernatural. The ability to manipulate one's surroundings in such a way is done using an energy called chi. This is one such practitioner, and water is his element of choice. Somehow he is able to make the liquid rise to the surface in a way that follows the energy guided by his hand. Soon he has created a bumpy surface full of individual droplets. He releases his hold, and with a wave of his hand, the water returns to normal. So this video is really mysterious. There doesn't appear to be anything in the water to make it do this. At least nothing I can see. I feel like he could have put metal shavings or something in the water, and then had someone with a magnet underneath create this effect. Can someone who knows more about science tell me if I'm on the right track? Otherwise, this is about as strange and mysterious as it gets. Something's Watching You. Published by Paranormal Instincts in January of 2022. A girl was walking her dog at night in the woods when she captured something observing her amongst the trees. The video clip shows the girl walking along a dirt path in the darkness. As her camera pans to the side, a tall, gaunt, pale figure dressed in dark clothes is spotted, standing next to a tree watching her. Although she doesn't seem to see it, her dog senses someone there. He stops and looks in the figure's direction on full alert. She has to urge the dog to come along.
Come on. Come on.
When she pans the camera back toward the same tree, the figure is no longer there. They continue on their walk, hopefully without any further encounter. But I imagine after watching this video back, there will be no further midnight walks either. Judging from his relatively harmless looking appearance, you'd never be able to tell that this man is as heartless and cruel as one can be. This 3-hour police confession in Anaheim, California, eventually culminates in his admission of taking the lives of 6 homeless men with a blade in less than a month. What strikes me is his calm, almost timid demeanor. He speaks very evenly, and you'd never expect that he was capable of generating the rage needed to plunge the blade into one person more than 60 times.
Really what you were doing is you were helping clean up the county, clean up the area.
In a way, sir, yes.
What's even more repulsive is his sense of obligation and pride while looking back at what he's done. He thinks he was doing the city a service by dispatching the unwanted. It's obvious that he does not value human life and only judges people based on how they look, with absolutely no sympathy for their potential or what they've been through.
Do you think that what you've done is right or wrong?
Wrong, but it had to be done. They were making the place look bad also.
Okay.
He is still awaiting trial and sentencing. Let me know what you think his sentence should be based on the evidence presented before you. I think he would most likely do it again, and should probably be kept away from the public. Most of the passengers have on headsets and are watching a mid-flight movie, but one of them sees a reoccurring image and takes out their phone. This brief clip is the final instance of what they saw. Floating up from one of the seats is a formless mist that briefly swirls into the shape of a twisted face and disappears. All airlines are smoke-free nowadays, but I suppose that could be another possibility. A father points a camera at his daughter's closet because she is afraid of something in her room. He was probably expecting for it to be nothing, but instead what he's caught on camera after midnight has left him shaken up as she is. She wakes up to a noise from the closet, and then a basketball falls out, half deflated like something had squeezed all the air out. You can clearly see the full closet, and it's not big enough for anyone to hide inside. If this wasn't paranormal, then I'm not sure how it was set up. Ghost, you're not the only one waiting for eternity at the DMV. Some have been waiting so long, they've passed away from boredom, literally. Shared by YouTuber El Gap Terror, this scary video is trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. The video's original source is unknown. This man may not be waiting at the DMV, but what he captures on camera in a waiting room is strange and unexplained. According to the video, he is waiting for his sister at school when he decides to take a random video. A dark, semi-transparent figure appears right in front of the man recording the footage. Do you see it? How can you explain this? Is the camera's refocusing causing a momentary figure to appear? Or is someone here waiting for their demise? Personally, I wouldn't wait around with it to find out. Number 20. This poltergeist is not at all timid. Published by JCG Dragon in August of 2019. This scary video was filmed in a haunted home in Argentina. The video shows a bedroom door slamming as hard as it can. The cameraman approaches the door, opens it, and in the opposite room, captures objects being thrown on the floor. assumedly by the same poltergeist. The cameraman enters the room crying in fear. When he turns the corner, there is nothing there, but slamming is heard again.
Ay, a la concha de la lora.
And he turns to find the door from the other room has slammed shut again. And what's worse, the power goes out. It sounds like the camera is dropped to the floor.
Ay, no. Ay,
What havoc will now ensue in the darkness? As the video ends there, it's left up to our imaginations. But judging from how these events are playing out, I can't think it's anything good. A YouTuber called Bangladesh Ghost Hunter, together with his trusty dog Thomas, go exploring abandoned houses and other fabled haunted places deep in the woods. One of their freakier finds takes place at night deep in the woods, where scary things are caught on camera, beginning with a scream.
এবং আপনারা ওয়েট এজন্য কিন্তু থমাস কোথায় দেখো তো।
As they strain into the darkness, a large number of weird things are caught on camera that deserve further analysis.
ওখানে কিছু আছে, ঠিক আছে, এজন্য কিন্তু থমাস কোথায় দেখো তো ছিল, মানে হা করে সেই ধোঁয়াগুলো খাচ্ছি না। Thomas?
Watch this part beginning at 5 minutes and 39 seconds and see how much paranormal activity you can see in 15 seconds.
যখন আলাদা করতে চেয়েছিল, তো তখন কিন্তু আমি কাছে ছিলাম, তখন আর কি পরিস্থিতি হয়েছিল সেইটা যদি একটু বল।
Okay, at 5 minutes and 40 seconds, a strange yellow orb glances across the camera and goes away. 2 seconds later, he turns his head as this pink aura is caught on camera that may or may not be the cameraman's finger, but in that moment, a strange wispy mist rains down on him that he can't see. 20 minutes and 40 seconds is when they finally see it. A form between two trees in the shape of a person. The flashlight chances upon it for but a brief moment and then it's gone. But it's still there watching them, of that I am sure. When inanimate objects start taking life around your home, maybe your house is cursed a la Beauty and the Beast, or maybe it's haunted by a poltergeist, posted to YouTube by Horrifying Nightmares in January of 2013, the YouTuber explains. Last week we captured footage of a bull scooting across the table. Some said it was a string, but this time the bull flew into the air, cups scooted across the table, and the entire table shook. Noting that the video speaks for itself, let's see if it does. The video shows a little boy playing at a table. In front of him is a red bowl with something inside. The boy plays for a time without incident, but the minute he walks away from the table, the bowl slides on its own to the left. In a later clip, the same red bowl flies from the table, another blue bowl and green cup slide across it, then the table jumps up, shaken by the paranormal. Would you be interested in eating at this poltergeist table? I think I'm gonna pass. The Malaysian district of Sabak Bernam recently had an odd occurrence take over the entire village in November of 2020. That's when residents began to hear this sound. Phantom knocking at odd hours day and night. It's kind of hard to see through the glass, but let me put it to you this way. If I can tell there is a white car parked out front, then I definitely should be able to see the outline of whoever is pounding hard enough to rattle this door, and yet nothing's there. This video and others like it remain unexplained. If a whole village were faking this, then surely at least one person would have accidentally confessed by now. Months later, nobody has. Based on this paranormal evidence, I'd say something actually appears to be haunting this village. This highly active haunted house is scaring YouTuber Dark Arts TV more than ever before. The place looks lived in.
But then I kind of feel like someone's been living up here as well. But I don't think there is. I don't think there's anyone. I think it's just, you know, more clutters just stacked up. But yeah, it's definitely eerie place. 100%.
They speak to the spirits that haunt the home through a spirit box.
Was you banging upstairs before? Something murder. Murder? Wow, it doesn't seem like a murder joint, though, is it?
It sounds like it said something about ending a life, then the spirit gets kind of handsy.
Did you just touch Sam? What?
Mate, it felt like someone touched me again then.
Really?
Mate, it felt like someone touched my neck.
No way.
Mate, mate.
Then it really freaks them out.
What the was that, bro? Brainpod's going off.
Mate, did you hear that? It was like, this is mine.
Yeah, bro.
This is mine.
It was like it was building up then and then you moved.
Did you not feel anything?
It continues to touch them.
Mate, it's like some... No, mate!
Oh my god.
Oh, the Brainpod.
Someone just grabbed my hand.
This isn't good.
Who keeps trying to hold their hand, although I think it may be a ghost. Whatever it is seems to be getting more aggressive. A Reddit user named Addison W has posted one of the creepiest things ever caught on doorbell cam to the Chills Narrator subreddit. A large, scary man bikes up to their front door and has this to say.
I'm sorry. Looked in one day and saw you. And, oh God, I can't stop.
The creepy man has his face covered and a light on his head that could be used to better see into people's windows. I don't know which is creepier, the fact that he has apparently been looking into the windows of random people's homes, or the fact that he calmly confesses it to them later into their doorbell cameras. At any rate, I really hope this person is just a random stranger with a dark sense of humor and not somebody who has developed an obsession. Unfortunately, I think the chances are very high that this is somebody who is extremely messed up and cannot help themselves. Hopefully the police find him before any of his compulsions grow even worse.
I'm sorry. Looked in one day and saw you. And, oh God, I can't stop.
Three friends are driving down some back roads late at night when they've caught something on video that has people questioning what was on the side of the road.
Oh no, can you not see that? Oh my god, what is that? It's a dog, isn't it? Can you hear that growling?
The creature looks at them as they question whether or not it's been hit and needs their help. While it goes deeper into the forest, they feel like they should get out of the car and check to see if it's all right.
God, I'm really scared. Tom! Where is it? Is it in the bush?
A deep growling sound coming from the woods keeps them from exploring any closer. They are pretty sure this isn't someone's dog, like they thought, but they aren't sure what to do next. That's when the decision is made for them. Run.
It sounds really close. Right, get in the car now, Tom.
The comments and likes for this video were split 50-50 between believers and skeptics. I might have thought this was real if I watched it just one time, but upon closer analysis, it's pretty obvious this was somebody in a creature costume on their hands and knees. When you look at their feet at 22 seconds, there are no claws and you can tell this is a costume that you step into, or at least that's what I think. Tell me what you make of this bizarre encounter caught on a full moon that night. A video taken from an undisclosed neighborhood in East Texas captures on camera some scary noises from the woods at night. Scary noises that certainly have to be hungry wolves laying territorial claim.
Steer. Down by the wire.
So if those were wolves, tell me what this next scary noise is, or more importantly, why it's coming straight towards him. People in the comments are saying that this sounds like a half-wolf, half-human creature. The uploader has lived here for a long time, and the scary voice in the woods is enough to send him running back inside, because he's never heard anything like it before, although he probably should have never gone outside to begin with if you ask me. According to one comment, there's been lots of reports of these scary noises in East Texas for years now, without a proper explanation. If you live here, then let me know if you've heard the unexplained screams and what you think they are.
Alright, just like a quick check-in. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's doing it.
A TikTok video made by Kristen Parham has people wondering if she needs to call an exorcist or an electrician.
I'm not making this up. They're flickering again.
Some of the lights look brighter and flicker. It could be loose light bulbs rather than the spirit world, but the weird thing is sometimes they do this, sometimes they don't. If you are an electrician, then let us know in your professional opinion whether she's being dramatic or if the worst is yet to come. Uncanny videos without explanations are often creepy in their own right, but this one takes it to a whole new level. Posted to YouTube by Gugun Reaper in October of 2016. The video is titled, "What Are You Thinking?" Deep Web Video. Soon it will have you asking yourself that very question. The clip shows someone in a black trash bag with a white cloth tied over his head. The thing coughs a few times, looking super sad and terribly creepy. At one point it lifts its hands to its mouth, and suddenly its mouth is flooded red. It's unclear what is happening. Is this thing coughing up red liquid? Fernando Costa suggests in the comments, he was starting to hick it all up slowly, then blam, bile and everything all finally came up. In the end, the thing holds a piece of paper with writing on it. You can see through the paper, and though he's holding it upside down, it reads, "What are you thinking after watching this video? All it's doing for me is creeping me out. A quarrel with a poltergeist has only one outcome. You lose." Published by Scary Desk in September of 2021. The computer shop owner is battling for his life. The man is seen on an upper balcony of his shop at night. It sounds like it's raining. He puts his hood on and heads back toward his shop, but the minute he steps toward the door, he is thrown onto his back, falling onto the ground. You see he appears to have been pushed by a shadowy force. A young man runs to his aid from an adjacent office. As the man points in fear, what did he see? The young man looks inside but finds nothing. He then helps the owner limp to safety. What did this to this poor man? And is it the end of it? Or is it just the beginning? There are some things that make you so nervous you can never unsee them. They remain on the backs of your eyelids when you go to sleep at night. This entry will make you stay out of the forest. Redditor Film Direction wrote, "Aw man, Chills is gonna be all over this in his next video." And he's right, I am. Posted by Rabbit14K, this video of a so-called forest guard was captured in India. The clip shows a vehicle driving at night down a dirt road surrounded by forest. It must be drizzling, as the windshield wipers are moving. Then up ahead in the middle of the road is a figure in white flowing robes. The figure's head is covered, and when we never see its face, as the vehicle backs up, the figure walks slowly and strangely off the path and into the trees. As the vehicle continues to reverse, it disappears, swallowed by the darkness. According to Redditor Vixen Ross, this might be a holy man or woman. as the Sri Sarada Devi wears similar robes to these worn by our forest guard. Others note that it's a bit on the dark side for a midnight stroll, even for a holy man. Did this video make the hair on your legs stand up? Did it give you chills? Did it make your nose start running? And what do you think? Is this human or a demon? Not all of us want to be detectives in this scary case, but sometimes the job is forced on us. YouTube team Exploring with Angelo ends up on the trail of a possible life taker with this randonautica gone wrong. It takes the crew to this creepy forest where they see a light amongst the trees. The light grows brighter and gets closer. The beam of light flickers in the darkness. And then they capture what's holding it. Using night vision, they get a close shot of the figure as it continues in its mission. After the figure leaves, they follow its footprints in the snow and they encounter him yet again from a distance.
See anything? Yeah, they're right there.
As they get closer, they smell a strong stench.
Smell?
I don't know.
You smell that?
Yeah.
One YouTuber points out another light beam from behind them later as they're reading this note.
Senior position in our new Arizona community. Which makes sense. Do you remember that letter that we found?
This is
We were in Arizona and it was talking about a new commune or something.
Okay, yes, now that you...
Does the beam belong to that strange figure? Later, as they're walking, they hear a scream in the night. I don't know what any of this means. I'm not sure if it means losing your life, but I would have to go and check the area again because it looks to me like the figure was burying something, but I'd definitely do that in the daylight. When strange things start happening inside your house, it's probably for a reason. Posted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by the Dude 101. This video was originally published to YouTube by Truthfinder 30330 in April of 2020. According to the title, paranormal occurrences have been happening in this man's home. The first odd thing you notice is that when the man walks into his living room, the door is shut while he's arranging his gaming console and things on his entertainment center. The door opens somehow. He heads over to look outside and check it out. After finding no one, he returns inside and the door slams shut. He goes back outside, but there's no one there, no one inside either. As he's looking around outside again, the door slams shut and he's locked out. He peers inside, but there appears to be nothing. Now he has to go around to get back inside his house. He lifts his camera, catching himself in the sights, while also capturing something over his shoulder. What is that? As he continues walking, he says hello to someone on the street. He's at his front door again, which he unlocks with a key, and immediately this happens. Absolutely terrifying. Bet you can't handle this video. Shortly after moving into their new apartment, this couple began to feel watched, so they installed a camera in the bedroom. A few nights later, they record a full-grown adult standing outside of their window. At first, he is so focused on staring into their bedroom that he doesn't even seem to notice or care about how obvious he stands out against the well-lit parking lot. When the couple inside walks closer to the window and gets on the bed, he tries to be a little more cautious but fails miserably. It's pretty obvious that he is still there and eagerly looking straight at them. He is about as close to the window as he can be, and he is probably really getting into the idea of watching them without being seen himself, not knowing that he himself is on camera. They can see him the entire time, and this is the exact moment that the boyfriend goes out and confronts the man, who quickly stands up and shows no aggression as he walks away. It turns out to actually be their neighbor next door. He came over and apologized the next day, but something tells me that this is a compulsion that he cannot help, and soon enough he will be back at it again, if not with them, then with someone else. YouTuber Burak Dohan Paranormal is about to enter the house of a man who made a deal with the Burrier Jean. He has yet to enter the house before something disturbs him. He deciphers the EVP as "we came." A short time later, he hears something again. This time the EVP says, "We're all around." Once inside, things get more bizarre.
Bismillah. Bismillah.
What was that sound? As he continues his search, something raps on the window.
Bak bak, duvar sallanıyor.
Whatever is in the house with him becomes more animated.
İçeride bir şey var arkadaşlar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
The last EVP he hears says, "Go here." Go where, I wonder? The ghost hunter doesn't hear it in the moment, so he doesn't follow these orders. I think he might regret it though. An unidentified aerial phenomena, also known as a UAP, was captured at Dreamland in Dripping Springs, Texas, and shared by Redditor My Brian on Acid.
Come in.
You doing?
Recording the alien spaceship?
You need to.
It's like not moving at all.
The uploader says another source reported on this same sighting.
And it's like way higher than the planes that just flew by. It's like further away. It's not moving at all.
Well, let's see if it's up there after we play.
The post the Redditor is referring to was captured by someone walking their dog who believed the UAP to be a planet, but once they looked at it through their binoculars, they noticed a dark center and a haze around the object. In the comments, Redditor Cronin Siglos appeared to crack the code, writing that it's a high-altitude balloon called an HBAL 604. After seeing one of these, I have to agree.
And it's like way higher than the planes that just flew by. It's like further away. It's not moving at all.
Published to YouTube by In Jamaica in August of 2017, this big almost catch occurred at the Hellshire Bridge. The camera approaches a large gathering of onlookers surrounding the bridge in question, where cars have pulled to the side of the road to watch the big event. Two young men have managed to nab the croc by the snout using a length of rope. The crowd cheers as the crocodile thrashes about and soon escapes his captors. They try again, throwing the rope into the murky water. After a few failed attempts to recapture it, they give up and the crowd disperses. Many in the comments below blame the lack of catch on the crowd, saying they're making too much noise and scaring the croc away. Perhaps they're right, but if you knew this monster was lurking below, could you suppress your fear? This dirt road has its own security guard. Published by Scary and Mysterious Stuff in February of 2021, a team faces off with a mysterious figure on a deserted road. As they drive in the middle of the night, wolves are howling all around. The atmosphere is unsettling. As they turn a corner and head down a hill, a figure in a black robe is captured up ahead in the headlights. Wearing a hood that blocks their face, the figure starts to slowly walk toward the vehicle, which backs up in response. The figure continues to approach the vehicle even after it's reversed far enough to not be a threat. While many in the comments are saying the figure was likely not a ghost, since it casts a shadow, others are calling the footage scary and dangerous regardless. If not a ghost, who is this person and what do they want? Vorkuta was a coal mining settlement during the Soviet era. It has since become a semi-deserted wasteland. Published by Vagabond, this adventure seeker went to check out the ghost town at the end of the world.
Here is roughly more than 200 people.
On the background of such amount of abandoned buildings, an active mine looks surrealist.
Traveling there by train, the only accessible means of transport to the area, he encounters the first steam engine that ever appeared in the area in 1944. The once thriving city was served by 13 coal mines in its heyday, where workers received a good salary and twice the pay they might back home due to the added northern coefficient pay. Directly across from clean bright offices are empty derelict buildings. Other empty structures are topped with massive piles of snow. Atop an enormous 9-story building is a phrase that translates to "Glory to the conquerors of Arctic territories." Vagabond also takes in the coal miners' quarters, located on the Vorkuta River embankment. Would you be able to live in this half-abandoned Arctic town? You'd better learn to love the cold. Will fish soon walk on land? It looks like one's already there. Published to the oddly terrifying subreddit, Redditor Big Black Onyx writes the cryptic message, "They are evolving." The mysterious video shows a large fish on a slab of snowy ice jutting into the water. The oddly terrifying fish appears to be standing up on its fins, taking in great gulps of air. Many have reacted to the walking fish, which has become the subject of numerous memes. Originally appearing in iFunny, posted by user Saika Gamberger in December of 2019, the video has been viewed, liked, and tweeted millions of times, and that's perhaps due to its unnerving nature. Redditor Sci-Fi Ship Controller remarks, "Not sure what is more unsettling, that it stands or that it breathes." If you are considering visiting an abandoned house on your own, take this video as a warning. YouTuber Joey CTV set out to explore this abandoned house. As he sets foot inside, he announces his arrival, but no one answers.
Is anybody upstairs? Speak now. That doesn't mean that they'll speak.
But after a moment though, he hears something.
I just heard something.
Is he just hearing things? Nope.
There's somebody walking upstairs. Who's walking upstairs?
Let's head upstairs to find out. he hears an EVP on the staircase and then makes a break for it. There's no question that someone or something is upstairs, but I'd like to know whether it's people or paranormal. Is this place haunted? Or is there a person squatting here? I guess the answer to that question will remain a mystery for now. YouTuber Ricky Velasquez captures this house being antisocial. Watch these china cabinet drawers. Here it is again, a little slower this time. The creepiest part of this footage is the shadow figure that moves towards the china cabinet. Keep your eyes peeled for it. Is that one of the creepiest things you've ever seen? I think this is one of the most authentic shadow figures I've witnessed. What do you think? Never in a million years should you cross this bridge. Posted to TikTok by Real Horror Talk, a man on a motorcycle enters onto a narrow wooden bridge crossing a wide and fast moving river. There are no railings. Let's watch. As he rides steadily across, he looks to his right and then to his left. The water is flowing rapidly past. He continues on as if he does this every day, and maybe he does. Those in the comments say when he looked left, they fell in the water. Others say it's like a terrible dream, but TikToker Trust Me has a more accurate reading. He writes, "How my parents got to school. I think we've all been there." This is what happens when your doll comes to life. Posted on the Ghosts subreddit by Redditor, Enigma's Light 209, who writes, "Years ago, my sister had a Dora doll. However, we never put batteries in it because at the time we couldn't afford a lot of stuff. My sister was singing and playing with the doll. Not noticing the doll turns its head to look at her. The clip is creepy enough to give you nightmares. The user's sister is in the bathroom, singing and playing at the sink. Her doll is perched beside her, motionless and staring off to the right. About 15 seconds in, the doll's head suddenly turns, looking directly at the camera and into our souls. Nothing more happens in the video, but the way the doll's head snaps around is reminiscent of a bad Child's Play-like scenario. My advice, destroy that doll immediately. Fire would probably be the best." Have you ever woken up to the feeling that you're being watched? Posted to Twitter by San Bernardino PD in April of 2022. This brazen home intruder was captured on camera standing over the home's residents while they slept. A wise camera in the resident's bedroom caught the thief lurking over them, creepily watching them. It looks as though the thief knows there's a security camera there. As he covers his face with a piece of cloth, he watches the residents sleeping. After watching the sleeping residents, he starts looking around for valuables. While many of these videos don't often have a satisfactory conclusion, this one does. The San Bernardino Police Department writes in the comments, "Due to outstanding police work from our officers and investigators, the suspect was identified and arrested. Thankfully, he won't be hovering over anyone else as they sleep anytime soon." This abandoned asylum apparently doubles as a site for satanic worship. YouTuber Exploring with Angelo is taken on a terrifying randonautica here, and things escalate quickly.
Do you hear something? I do, bro. It sounds like...
After arriving at the abandoned asylum, they start to get freaked out.
Jeez. Oh my bro. Oh my Angelo.
They think there's someone inside with them.
Who's in there?
And then they come across this, a satanic ritual all laid out.
Oh my god, that's the snow, bro. Oh, dude.
Apparently, whatever they found smells putrid, and frankly, if I was them, I wouldn't be messing with it. According to YouTuber Gankwapi, this abandoned house has a horrific history. It's near the end of their investigation that they encounter this spirit. If you look a little closer, you can see a figure lurking in the darkness. Look to the right. Is that the old man's spirit, stranded to haunt this evil house for eternity? I suspect it just might be, although I could also see it being the Life-Taker's demon, jailed forever in this purgatory on Earth of terror. If you were told by a spirit not to enter, would you listen? YouTube team 3 Spires Paranormal returns to the Church of Terror, and soon they are tormented. They ask the spirits here to make some noise, and they do.
Bang!
They hear it again.
I thought it was over here. I heard the tap, but I thought his hand got to me with there, but you thought it was over there.
Later, they hear what sounds like a squeaky gate opening or closing.
Don't open it.
The spirit says, "Don't come in." Seems like a pretty direct order to me. The guys go and check out the gates.
Ceiling again. I know.
But they're shut tight and there's no one around. Is something preaching in this Church of Terror?
Don't come in.
Judging by this message, it seems to me that whatever it is does not want to mingle with the congregation. Number 9. As a parent, often you must keep your fear inside for the sake of your children. If you want to know how, take a master class from this dad, posted by Matt to World in February of 2016. The uploader writes in Spanish, a video that I took of a paranormal phenomenon that occurs in a neighborhood of Greater Buenos Aires. The video appears to show a father and son watching TV. The father apparently feels the urge to go check on something in the room next door. When he first looks in, apart from a strange sheet appearing to cover something in the middle of the floor, nothing seems abnormal. It also looks like 2 figures are asleep in opposite beds. He returns to his son, checks the bathroom and the kitchen, and swings back to the room where the light fixture is still swinging around. Then the sheet suddenly collapses. Apparently it was covering nothing. A nearby broom falls to the ground, and then someone in the bed moves. Somehow the father remains incredibly calm, as if this is an everyday occurrence, and from the sounds of it, it might be. In the comments, Matthew World suggests the man's calm reaction to the ghost was in order to not scare his son. Matt claims this is just one of the frightening anomalies that occurred to the family in this home. He also says they ended up moving, as they'd suffered enough. After seeing this single event, I don't think I'd stay in that house a moment longer. There's an eerie sound coming from the Golden Gate Bridge that is making people lose their minds. A constant haunting hum that can be heard from miles away. Try to guess what it is.
Oh, did you believe that? Oh my god. We didn't have to go to the parking lot.
Between the red rails is where the mysterious noise is coming from, and as it turns out, this is from a mistake in a recent redesign of the bridge. The new rails were mistakenly spaced apart just enough to let the wind come screeching through at an unbearable volume. It happened in June of 2020, and as of the time of this video, I was unable to find any evidence that it's been fixed. A man in Indonesia goes exploring the most haunted places of his home country to unlock supernatural myths of a different official nature, hence the channel's name. Out here, the ghost world has formed communities deep in the rainforest. He knows this place well and senses one near.
Allahu Akbar.
Standing before him is an eerie apparition that gives me anxiety, like something has gone wrong. The paranormal exploration does not end with him running away. He has become strangely at ease around them, less terrified over time, or maybe okay with them all along.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu la ilaha illallah.
After a little more exploring, our adventurer finds a second spirit and does not come as near. He might be afraid, but I think he's simply respecting their space. I did some research and this creepy video looks like a possibly real ghost sighting of a Pocong spirit, seen mostly in Indonesia and Malaysia. It's said that the spirit's appearance under the shroud depends on the current state of their physical body. In other words, if he were to look underneath, he would see how rotten they were, but he dares not do such a thing. These are his ancestors, and he might have wanted to show us that there are real ghost videos on the internet if you know where to look, and that a ghost haunting the woods doesn't automatically mean it's one of the scariest places in the world. It's a really good point, but this scary video's got me freaked out nonetheless. Turn the volume up on this one. Posted to the haunted subreddit. Work at Home Freak 99 writes, I live alone and this is a motion or light activated camera. That's me just turning off the light and heading off to bed. Now listen. A loud gravelly voice says either help, go, or come.
Go. Go.
Depending on which Redditor you ask. Personally, I hear the word help in a sort of Yelp fashion. The OP writes, if I had heard that voice, I would have flipped out. They also say the sound came from the kitchen where the camera is set up, because creepy stuff happens there sometimes. Many are saying the voice is creepy AF and sounds like the Cookie Monster. Regardless, this Redditor should probably try their luck with one of the options currently on the board before this monster takes matters into its own hands.
Go. Go.
Allahu Akbar.
On February 3rd, 2020, a bizarre video was posted on Twitter showing some strange activity caused by mysterious things in the sky, weird lines like some kind of wavelengths projecting outwards. A Twitter user posted the mysterious video because he says it needs explaining. He says this is electromagnetic interference of some kind, but has no idea what it could be from. If this is a result of EMF radiation, then the source is giving off a giant amount and must be large itself in return. Tell me if you think you know what's happening here, because it's been over a year and the mysterious event he caught on video still cannot be explained. The aggression with which some ghosts make their presence known can frighten even the bravest among us. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit by Mr. Miracle BR. The Redditor says this clip was tweeted by a police officer and reveals a strange, seemingly paranormal encounter during a police raid in Brazil. The footage shows what appears to be an abandoned building. The police approach to find a door banging repeatedly on its hinge. As they get closer, they see that it's doing so on its own. No trespassers are around. Nothing behind the door but an apparently angry plant. The man filming scans the door up and down, but nothing seems to explain the banging. The police hear something clatter to the ground somewhere far off and start running down the alley. Redditor Islin draws attention to something else creepy in the clip, writing, how come no one is pointing out the girl in the doorway at 38 seconds? Not sure if that's a girl. In fact, it's unclear what it is, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's very unnerving. Those who don't see it remain skeptical about the seeming paranormal activity. Redditor Bin Medi writes, ghosts do this, but they don't do it constantly. Well, there you have it. 2. A second entry on this list explores Hill House, the most haunted house in Texas. This time, YouTuber Kelsey Davis, who is a psychic medium, feels the presence there.
I have chills right now. There's someone behind me. I think it's Toby.
I'm getting the chills. Toby.
And she hears it too.
Oh my. Kelsey, it started running. Oh, it started running.
Towards you?
Yes. It was loud. You heard his foot. It was like that.
As they're turning on the Spirit app, they hear another terrible bump.
Kelsey. Shh, it's okay.
Later, a paranormal device goes off, as does a child's toy.
Where's that coming from?
It's upstairs.
It's Josh's room.
Get the out of here. No, this.
That is.
This.
What was that?
It's a toy.
That's in Josh's room.
They head up to Josh's room to see what toy was triggered.
Hi, Joshua. What?
Something ran up again, ran at me.
Ran at you?
Yeah.
What does that sound?
Where's that coming from?
I think I've had enough of Hill House. I'm 100% positive that if I paid this place a visit, I'd leave with my pants brown. Everyone knows seedy stuff happens under bridges, and YouTuber Last Leaf Studio found evidence of this in July of 2016, posting a video entitled, "Some Creature Creeps Under the Pedestrian Bridge in Kiev." The footage shows traffic passing by on a highway in Ukraine's capital, as the cameraman is posted alongside a pedestrian walkway. Scanning the scene, the camera lands on the pedestrian bridge overhead. Look closely here. Beneath the bridge, you can see a large creature, apparently somehow holding onto the underside of this bridge, creeping across it bit by bit. You can even see its limbs move as it makes its way across. At first in darkness, the figure makes its way towards the light. A close-up of the creature reveals that this figure is distinctive. Its outline and limbs seem to be that of a human, or at least that of a humanoid creature. But what human can traverse the underbelly of a bridge like that, and why would they? The other option is that it's something with an immense amount of strength. What do you think it is? Solo Ambush goes to a haunted shack that's been abandoned in the jungle. The place is haunted by two evil shamans, conjoined twins connected at the hip. Solo Ambush is ready to live up to his reputation and confront them both on live stream. He finds odd evidence in the pages of an old book that could be paranormal incantations of some kind. Tell me what he says here, and anything you can about what's written in the book.
So ini adalah salah satu ibaratnya. Okay, yang berbahasa Siam. Aku akan bawa balik buku ini ya.
I'm especially interested in what this page says. It has a picture of the world on it and a list. He stares at this page for the longest of all. For some reason, he lights 5 candles in the attic and says something to the shaman.
Okay, sila keluar. Aku cabar segala jin, kadam, pesuruh, dukun.
Maybe it has to do with what he just read. Whatever he recites, it works. Notice how the shadows start moving when the noise begins, and how they stop moving when the noise ends. Final analysis: these scary moments caught on livestream video are paranormal and creepy beyond belief. It's like the ghost is walking right up and standing over him. It looks like Solo Ambush is the one getting ambushed this time. It's 1:30 at night, and David Oman is working late from his home office. He feels like he is no longer alone, so he glances at his CCTV system just in time to see a shadow briefly pass by. David quickly archives this strange occurrence and uploads it to YouTube. The shadow itself looks transparent and moves way too fast to be a normal person. This video almost looks like it was sped up to create this ghostly effect. But if this really is the normal speed, then I have no idea what else this could be besides a paranormal intrusion. I saw a light anomaly, writes Francisco Escamilla, after uploading this bizarre ring cam footage to his YouTube channel. He has no idea what this was and is looking for answers, so let's try and help. I think this could actually be paranormal because their dog just so happens to go crazy at the same time.
Keep out.
The block is quiet and the dog doesn't really have much to bark at other than this strange moving object. Some dogs will bark at nothing, so that's not necessarily proof. The way this alleged ghost orb slowly moves makes me wonder if this is actually just a bug that was attracted to the porch light, walking across the lens up close to give this strange and spooky effect. The last thing you'd want for your Burger King chicken nuggets is a ghost playing with them, but we don't always get what we want. YouTuber Karaoke Batman shares this security footage of a supposed phantom playing around in this Burger King kitchen. Watch behind the worker.
Unpack her up. There we go.
Oh my god. Like,
something threw a basket of chicken nuggets from the counter behind him. Watch again closely.
oh my god. Like,
since we can't see where the basket of nuggets fell from, I don't know if it simply toppled over or if some mysterious being threw it. I think we'd need further evidence of ghostly activity to draw any sort of conclusion on this one. Captured at Hillview Manor in Newcastle, these paranormal explorers face their fears. Published by SCWC in October of 2019, the uploader calls this the scariest moment of their entire life. Although the video has no sound, the YouTuber says footsteps charged at them from down the hallway. The video shows their terrified reaction as they all look toward it. One of them even dives out of the way as the invisible spirit charges toward them. Noting that the footsteps ran between all of them, the uploader writes, "The walls and floor shook with every footstep this spirit took while running." While you don't see anything run past, this group's synced reaction seems more than genuine. What was in the Hill House with them? This next strange and possibly real ghost sighting video occurred after hours at the Maranba Boxing and Sporting Club in Australia. One CCTV security cam recorded this glowing apparition walk out from the bathroom right towards some of the gym equipment and then abruptly head off camera. It's not a bug walking across the camera because the figure assumes a more solid human form as the moments pass. If this is a paranormal being, then I'm pretty sure it's no longer covered by a lifetime membership. All kidding aside, I think this ghost sighting might be real, and it seriously creeps me out. A slamming door wakes up Tiana Wilson and her family, who have long suspected their house to be haunted. They grab a camera and timidly go exploring upstairs. Shortly afterwards, an alarm fills the house and things get even creepier.
Listen.
no way. Oh, so we need to go. Come on.
That's what the beeping is. It's the fridge.
They shut the fridge and wonder how it was opened in the first place. That's when their grandmother, who is staying with them for a few days, comes to see what the commotion is.
Did you leave the fridge door open, Mom?
I can't remember if I did. I know I went in and took a bucket of water out.
Probably I did.
The grandmother isn't sure if she left the fridge open or not.
You been asleep, Ruby? Yes, in the night down here wake me up. I don't get up this time of morning.
Is my mum a ghost?
But she definitely didn't shut any doors.
I'm sure it's about 1:30.
I can see something.
And when they go back and review the video, they find a shadow figure staring at them from the end of the hallway. Freaky, right? Is this a man or a monster? Posted to TikTok by Club de Dos Canito 1. I think it might be both.
Si puede respirar. No te levantes, por favor. Así quédate, no te levantes. Voy a llamar a alguien. A ver, traeré el carro para acá. Me voy a arriesgar y lo voy a meter a arriesgarme a quedar atascado.
I'm personally not sure what to make of this clip, but most folks in the comments are making references to Spider-Man. I agree with them on one point. This does look a little like a man morphing into a spider.
Si puede respirar. No te levantes, por favor. Así quédate, no te levantes. Voy a llamar a alguien. A ver, traeré el carro para acá. Me voy a arriesgar y lo voy a meter a arriesgarme a quedar atascado.
Not alone. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by ImpressiveMany4743, this Redditor wrote, "We are not alone." The Redditor says they filmed this on their way home. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about.
Was out here today and seeing these stars formed up. I don't know what the hell they are. Look, a perfect triangle. And they're slowly disappearing.
Are those two lights a part of a much larger aircraft? I don't know for sure, but I do know that if I saw this on my way home, I'd be nothing short of terrified. Number 20. Some videos on the internet can haunt you. February 20th, 2003, Station Nightclub, a great white concert. The headliner takes the stage seconds after they open with their Billboard hit Desert Moon. Pyrotechnics are launched by the tour manager as part of the spectacle. Little does he know that the acoustic foam located in the ceilings and walls around the stage will soon go ablaze. Most initially believed it was part of the show, but soon the crowd began to understand that this was not a controlled incident. The band's lead vocalist, Jack Russell, said into the microphone, "Wow, that's not good." Before some of the band and their entourage fled the stage via the west exit, a stampede towards the main exit resulted in a bottleneck and trampling. Cameraman Brian Butler for WPRI-TV of Providence was there that night filming for a piece on nightclub safety. Some of his footage was released to national news stations. If you're wondering if you can stomach the footage, take notes from Redditor Buffalady87, who writes, "The worst part is in the beginning there's so much screaming, then as people are running outside you realize it's actually pretty quiet, not because people calm down, but because you are actually listening to the people still inside." Will this couple live happily ever after? Shared by YouTube channel blah blah, this video was originally posted on TikTok. The mysterious video of what appears to be a wedding party is trending in the Arabic-speaking YouTube community. A pair of newlyweds sit together with a forlorn look on their faces, while an officiant reads through some documents or scripture with the wedding party gathered round. We can assume all is normal, but a moment later something unsettling happens. Watch the bride-to-be
They tell you guys the way I'm like crazy. Mom, his friend is ready to do it. I shouted.
Không là ba của nó hay ba đây nha. Ba của nó ba.
What came over her?
Of his scene reach, you get crazy to this world. You keep flowing.
Her eyes grow wide as though she's suddenly become possessed by something. She then follows an unknown object above before having a strange fit and appearing to silently scream in pain. Did a mysterious force from above possess her? Or did that force simply strike in that moment and cause her agonizing pain? It's hard for me to tell here what may have happened without further context or an extended video, but if I had to guess, I'd say something possessed her. It's all in the eyes. A woman leaves her car unlocked and loses some personal items, including a set of keys. A short time later, a man who she has never seen before comes to her front door and attempts to gain entry with her missing keys. Fortunately, none of the keys were the house key, and he quickly hurries off with nothing. This just goes to show how easily one incident can lead to another. If you ever experience anything like this, don't underestimate the persistence of those doing it. This door sounds like a witch, and I'm not even exaggerating. Would you be able to live in a house that made this noise? People in the comments are saying it's possessed or cursed. I'm not going that far, but I'm just saying that if any part of my house even sounds remotely like this, I'm moving far away. John Cater carefully combs through his home looking for the source of what he can only describe as a creepy noise. 1 second the room will be completely silent.
Okay.
And the next minute it sounds like some kind of grinding noise that could drive somebody insane over time.
Oh my god.
It isn't insects either, because listen to how quickly it goes away.
Oh my god.
John eventually traces the noise back to a dark room that he has never really paid any particular attention to before, and apparently something in there wants to keep it that way. It looks like an invisible force slams the door shut from the other side, and we never do get to see what was down there with him, if anything. This exploration of an abandoned mansion didn't go as planned. A French YouTuber shares this scary video of a very creepy place. As they light some candles, they appear to scare themselves.
Et sur son image, des cendres d'un hérétique. Vous...
Attends, mais y'a rien là.
Les gars, on a trouvé... Je suis en train de faire cramer la page. On a trouvé des cendres.
In another room, something similar happens, but it's not clear if they're scaring each other or something external is scaring them.
Y'a un gars qui arrive.
Non, non, je déconne même pas.
As they enter one of the rooms, one of the team appears to be thrown back by an invisible force.
Tiens, un truc.
What was down that hallway looks to me like only darkness.
Grave, monsieur, pas de soucis, bonjour.
While this place does give off the creepiest of vibes, this team isn't taking anything seriously. So it's hard to tell if the mansion is really haunted, and the crew's fear manifests in jokes and laughter, or if it's not haunted at all. What do you think? I'd like to see this place for myself to decide. When ghosts need a clean getaway, they simply possess moving objects. Sometimes these objects are motor vehicles, or so this clip would suggest. Published by Truebill in January of 2018, the short video purports to show the paranormal possession of a car parked in a parking garage. This white vehicle rocks side to side. Its doors open and shut, and its alarm starts going off, all while no one is near it. Even the windshield wipers start swiping, while its back door flings open and closed. Soon the car's paranormal activity sets off every car alarm in its row. The car is later seen driving through the garage, apparently without anyone at the wheel. When the security guard sees there's no driver, he races off. Is this a driverless vehicle, or is a ghost taking this car out on a joyride? One is a lot scarier than the other. The devil, the team from YouTube channel Proving Demons, is proving it again by meeting the devil himself in this scary video. While in this haunted prison, they are given a demonic message that sounds more like nagging.
Andrew, that says I'm capable of harming you, the devil is inside of me. That's serious.
Later, they hear some noises in the dark hallways.
What's that horrible noise? That's me, sorry. Sounds like machinery going off.
As they're listening intently to the screechy sounds they're hearing in the distance, a door opens much closer to home.
Yo, that door just opened. That door just opened. That door just opened.
Really?
Yeah. It was closed 2 seconds ago. And it just opened.
They again hear a distant scream.
What the What was that? You just hear the screaming? The guy yelling?
Although I didn't hear it myself, the next bit is plain as day.
Can you open that window again? Look, oh my.
It was like that, but it came right out. And that was actually last as well.
Yeah. Look, oh my. Close, isn't it? There is no wind in here at all.
They continue to explore and hear a door slam, but unfortunately didn't have their cameras on to catch it. But then...
That was another door and I wasn't even filming. Please. Slam another door for us. It came from over here. That. Holy.
The doors and windows are opening and shutting everywhere in this prison. My theory is that the souls of former prisoners are trying to escape, but it looks like their life sentences are continuing into the afterlife. Number 3. Something's cooking in this kitchen. Published by Sasha 180683 in December of 2012. A poltergeist is startling this haunted resident. As the resident enters, a curtain that's hung in front of a washer and dryer keeps fluttering. Then a cupboard pushes open on its own, one of its doors thudding against the stove. The door swings closed and open, moving uncannily. The curtain again moves strangely around, and then back to the cupboard door. The cameraman slowly backs out of the room and then moves forward again, getting a closer look at the cupboard door and the curtain. No strings and the window isn't open. He shows the camera that it's 2 a.m. After closing the cupboard again, the door swings open, and the curtain plays around a bit more. What invisible energy powers this kitchen? A poltergeist would be my guess. There's something unnatural in this yard. Can you tell what it is? Published by Ghost Chanel in April of 2022. You can see a white object moving in the darkness. The object is a little figure. The figure's arms reaches out and then this happens. Reaching out his arms moves the cart back. After moving it back again, the ghost disappears from view, only to reappear on the other side of the cart. A moment later, he is sleeping on it. Are these phantom powers being used for good or evil? They seem to be just for fun. While light can certainly play tricks on us, and on a camera, things can get creepy. Posted to the Ghosts subreddit, Garno7 explains that he and some friends were hanging around their campfire near a lake, and one of them captured this on his phone. The clip shows a figure appearing to run from their group of people into the roaring flames. Watch as the camera pans from left to right. Can you see it? While many in the comments say the figure is nothing but a lens flare. A couple Redditors counter that argument. Redditor Patrick RS Ghost writes, "At first I thought it was some flare or something due to the transition from dark to light very quickly, but when I looked closer I could see something start to move within the crowd at around the 2-second mark, almost to the left of the little girl in the pink sweater, right as the camera starts to pan, and upon looking again, I can totally see what this Redditor is talking about. So now I think there's a good chance this could be paranormal, because when you take the time, it seems to sync up." The G-Team Paranormal is visiting this creepy cemetery at midnight. They say it's known for its shadows and other paranormal activity. Let's see what they captured. One of their paranormal devices goes off right away.
Did you see that?
It lit up all colors.
Yeah. Can you hold it on red then?
Hate.
It says hate.
Another is triggered as they wait in the darkness.
Yeah, it did. Oh, there it goes again. It heard you.
Then a series of events occurs.
There was something that was just glowing right over there, guys. I don't know what the that was.
Oh, something just flew and landed in this tree.
What?
Really?
Happiness. I swear something just landed in this tree. Just landed at the bottom of the tree. Oh, it says happiness, death.
Death?
What?
Well, we're in a cemetery.
Again, a device goes off. And amongst the creepiest of their captures, they film what looks like a tall dark shadow. Later, a Connect reveals the spirits holding hands with one of the team.
What's going on, guys?
Watch, she puts his hands in her hands.
Oh my.
Yo, he's gone. Horses.
Oh, there,
yeah,
he,
there
is.
he is.
Oh my. Look at that.
Watch, look, he's grabbing her hand. Look.
He's still doing it?
Yeah.
Oh my.
The shadow and this Connect energy are it for me. The spirits are lively in this cemetery. A YouTuber named Visually Creeped TV is walking around a cemetery in Wisconsin when he hears creepy whistling from within a crypt that is locked and 100 years old. Take a look and try to tell me which direction you think it's coming from.
Let's go walk down here.
What the
The only thing I find odd is that he initially looks in the opposite way of the crypt. When he first hears the noise, if the whistle was truly coming from inside of the crypt, I think he would instinctively turn the other way. He quickly walks around the crypt to verify no one is around, and then he hears the whistle again, this time where he just was moments ago.
Oh, like right behind me.
Hello?
Overall, there's no easy way to fake this video. It doesn't really sound like speakers or anything like that, and it does sound like it's coming from inside of this structure, but the gates are chained shut. An infrared camera was directed toward a stairway in a haunted home. This is what it captured, published by Electrica Man in October of 2006. The cameraman casts the shot toward the top of the stairs, appealing to the ghost to talk to them. While the spirit doesn't make a peep, you can see a child-sized apparition move out of view at the top of the stairs.
Okay, everybody. Hold still for a second.
You have to look closely as the semi-transparent figure vanishes quietly from the landing into the adjacent hallway. Is this ghost camera shy? Chris Halton of Haunted Earth TV shares in the comments. As an investigator, I have noticed a connection between IR light and spirits. They do react against the infrared light. He adds that this footage is the most compelling he's seen. What do you think? It seems to me that some very mysterious stuff is going on in this home.
There's something over here. Moving around.
This was the moment when a YouTuber named Mixed Breed Entertainment gasped in surprise. And turned around because he thinks that he felt the presence of a ghost so near. That's not enough evidence to prove this basement is haunted. But what happens next certainly is.
Hey, try something real quick. Is there anyone here? What the?
The stuffed animal falls over when a ghost is asked to move an object.
Did the teddy bear just move? What the f is that?
Then a ghost orb is caught on camera seemingly coming out of the toy itself.
It just got really what the f?
Okay, so the toy could fall and a particle of dust could fly over it, I suppose. But when the same thing happens a second time, coincidences go out the window. Paranormal is what I think this is.
Can you move it again? Oh,
Sure enough, there's another orb when this happens. Watch your brains, there's a zombie on the loose. Published by Mr. Illusion in February of 2022, this YouTuber captured what he thinks is a zombie on camera. Dressed all in black, the figure lurches through the high grass. On closer inspection, he appears to be missing his cranium. Despite this, the crew follows this creepy figure, who also looks to be carrying a tool or small hatchet in his hand. He weaves through the woods, off on a mission to do what? I'm not quite sure. Is this a zombie? Or something out of the mind of Ichabod Crane? While in Washington, Louisiana, YouTube crew The G-Team Paranormal investigated a 200-year-old steamboat warehouse that's purported to be haunted. Let's see what they found. Right away, the spirits there set the crew's mind at ease. And they're insistent that they're there. Very insistent. The team is trying to communicate with a spirit named Jack.
Cece saw you when we got here.
That EVP wasn't as clear to me as the others, but when they turn off the spirit box and search the bar area, they hear another disembodied whisper. It does sound like someone told her to hurry. She continues her tour of the haunted place, and while walking past a glass door, she sees this. You can see the apparitions pretty clearly, and it's not apparent that anything around her is reflected in the glass. As she turns, you don't see any objects that might explain things. The only logical explanation I can come up with is that parts of the glass may be fogged over from the cold. Coupled with the spirit box communications and the EVP, I definitely think this warrants further investigation. What's scarier, Bigfoot or a shadow figure? Shared by Redditor Haunted Luca. This video's mystery could be either. Watch the top right corner of the frame closely.
Oh, well. Yeah, did you see the big tree break over there? It was a good snap.
Did you see it? Here it is again.
There's a big tree break over there. It was a good snap.
It looks too solidly dark to be a Bigfoot to me, and I'm of the opinion that a shadow figure is scarier than a Bigfoot, so this Redditor might want to find a different corner of nature to picnic in. When you're playing peekaboo with the paranormal, it's never a game. Posted to the Ghost Video subreddit by Podcast Africa. The clip shows an urban explorer walking through an abandoned house. As he walks down the corridor, he glances in a room to his left. There's a big empty window to the room beyond, and in that window this peeks out, a shadow person or a real one. The dark shadow ducks down quickly and the explorer hurries over into the next room and finds it completely empty. So who or what is playing around here? Or are they even playing? Video is shrouded in mystery. It appears to show the police entering an abandoned house in hot pursuit of a criminal, but what they find there is from another dimension. Shared by YouTube channel Breakman, this scary body cam footage is currently trending in the Spanish-speaking YouTube community. Its original source is unknown though.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
If I was the police here, I would have kept this figure in my sights because you don't want to risk this.
King 1, did you copy that?
While the jump scare and the perfectly framed shots convince me this body cam footage is fabricated, I have no doubt that police have really encountered paranormal activity before while on their beat. I'd suggest they carry holy water on them at all times. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.